Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, we have finally made it. We've made it to the first clicked part of our YouTube series of ETF2L Season 41 Grand Final. Yes, we're skipping straight to the ending here in this Twitch channel. It is I, TurboTabs, and I'm more than proud to bring you our Grand Final of Witness Gaming EU versus TF2Easy. But I'm joined by a beloved cast and crew. And let's start off by introducing my co-caster for the evening, Bumfries. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Turbo. Very excited to bring us another grand final.
Excellente, excellente. And it wouldn't be a grand experience if we didn't have a bit of analysis in here. And it may look like a change of names, but he's still good, if not better. Eames, we welcome into the channel. How are we doing, Vlad?
If not better, you flatter me, Turbo. It's too much. But thank you. I'm here for the analysis. Here to give my thoughts on what I see today, and I'm expecting it to be a good one. Got two fantastic teams for us, and there should be. I think it's going to be more than 3 maps. I don't know about you guys.
Yes, I more than agree. But before we go into the maps, I just want to give a big kind of cap tilt to our production man, the man pressing all the buttons. We've got Dr. Underscore will be the one showing you all the lovely sights and sounds this evening. And I'm going to give a little mini shout out to Kado out there, who is was going to join us on the analysis, but he's feeling a little under the weather, and he's going to do some very, very laid back casting of the grand final as well. You can find him over on teamfortress.tv in that little side panel. But you're joining us here, a cast of 3 people, and boys, this is a big game in recent memory. Never have I remembered 2 teams so closely competing at this first seed. Oh, am I alone here?
No, I think you're absolutely right. In fact, I did make a little graphic to demonstrate this, if we do have that to bring up now, because these teams have not actually played against each other for over a year at this point, despite taking the Premiership title for 5 out of the last 6 seasons. Nerd Rage taking 2 there, obviously now known as TF2Easy, and Ascentum Fortos taking 3 of them. For most of these seasons, they didn't actually play against each other. Their schedules just not lining up, managing to dodge each other out. So we've not seen a grand final this close for over a year, since season 37. So this is definitely going to be the fight for the entire online era, basically.
Eames, back us up here. Does your Prem Clout agree with our sort of predictions, or is it a bit more divided than we anticipate?
No, definitely. These are 2 top teams and 2 top team leaders. I don't know who you would say is the leader exactly, but certainly on TF2Easy, but certainly the core of Nubby, Kunu, Gazi, Nasboy. They used to have Seeds on Med, and they've got Sil instead of Josh, but still, those 4 that I mentioned, the first 4, have been playing together very, very at top level for a long time, but obviously never coming up against the Pappy core, which is basically Thomas, Pappy, and Lucas, and then +3 depending on how it goes. Usually with Classy in there, sometimes on Flank Scout he has even played Med, but it's really, it's a clash of 2 TF2 dynasties today, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, obviously, these 2 sort of clans have had the mixtures. There's obviously the guest starrings. Now, where do these fit in the timeline between you guys? Does it feel like these are the best iterations of these teams, or they're kind of coming into this grand final a little crooked-legged?
That's a tricky one, because every iteration of these teams have been obviously top in their respective seasons, and it's really hard to say, how things line up between the Iat Gink era and the Captain era of Ascent. And obviously Josh and Sil are so close to each other in terms of being those absolute top soldiers. So I would definitely not say that either of these rosters are any weaker than their prime. Maybe they're not the best iterations of the roster ever, but this is definitely going to be a close one. Either way, these teams are definitely far and above anything else we've seen in Prem for a while.
All right, you, Eames, is there a particular special name out there that you're shedding a single tear for that's missing from these lineups?
Yeah, I think Nerd Rage are going to be sad that they're not playing with Josh in a way. Obviously, Sil is a very strong player, but Josh was the key main caller for their team. He kind of put them together. He played with them for a number of seasons in different roles, but it was him and Kunu for a long time. And he really, him and Nubby was very inexperienced when he first came to that team, but Josh really, brought him into it. And the same with Nasboy and Prem in many ways. He turned from a demo who had very, very good DM, but sort of didn't necessarily know his role in the team too well, to like a really top player who knew exactly what he was doing. And that was all under Josh's vast experience and leadership. So it does, it's a shame that he's not in here, but Sil certainly is able to play that role. I think maybe he's more of a individually minded player than Josh in terms of the calls, but he's certainly going to be involved in that. I think probably though Kunu has a lot more to say, as you often see. Same with Pappy and Thomas. Pappy was the original main caller for Ascent, way back in season 34 and earlier. But that kind of, it's more efficient really to do it on Pocket Scout, and so the responsibility kind of shifts once you have the, Thomas and Kunu are both really top scouts, and they have the ability to just main call a team on their own, really.
All right, boys. You might be able to change the players, but can you change the idea of these teams? What when I think of Witness Game, when I think of TF2Easy, what should I expect? What gameplay styles am I going to see here, Bum?
Well, I do think Eames has a great point there about once you really kind of solidify your team, get the style of it down. Josh has basically brought up TF2Easy, but they've left the flock without him, but they'll still have his kind of style. Basically, once you've got your main calling down and you've taught your team to do everything that you want them to do, you can pretty much let someone else take over the main calling. So it's probably correct that Toe and Kunu probably do more of the main calling now than their old traditional main callers. And as for each team's style of play, I don't really know about either of them having a specific style. Neither of them are really too keen on slowing the game down from what we've seen so far. They are both just pretty solid teams with get up and go.
How about you, Eames? Do you see the differences between the lines here, or are these just two teams that playing just quality TF2 that we can't really compare?
They've moved past it a bit, but TF2Easy were always known for their sort of pug style. They're very, very high DM players. Everyone on this roster, to be honest, is a top DM player on their class. Whereas this is not. I mean, they're no slouches on Witness Gaming, but this is not particularly what they're known for. Most Pappy teams have had like good but not insane DMers, but they've had very, very good sort of main calling, reading of the game, and extremely good synergy. That said, Thomas has crazy DM, but the plan of TF2Easy in most fights is to get have one person win a 1v1 and then snowball and hard win DM fights by hitting more shots and focus firing very well. Whereas the plan of Pappy's teams more often are to take a nice trade, are to sort of outsmart them and sort of be better positionally. So it's a little bit of a clash of styles, although both of them do execute things very well. So many things they'll do are quite similar.
All right, boys. I hope you packed some sandwiches and you got the coffee on the hob, because it's a 5-map best of 5 grand final. We only got 7 of the stinking maps, but they've had to choose and pick and ban, and we actually have the privilege to sift through the chat log in full detail, drunken people included, on what those map picks are. And I know players that really like to say like, "Oh well, it never came down to this map," but this has got to be pretty big in these map picks. We'll get a bit more into it as I start reeling them off here. So because obviously the Pappy team has got the first seed, they get the little tiny advantage of going first and picking and banning and all that jazz, and they decide to pick. Yeah, let's just go straight to the picks. We'll go to the bans a little bit later, but their first pick was, where is it?
I've got it here. Here we go. Witness have picked Granary up first.
Hey, you're correct. You are right. Okay. It's just I have to scroll past all the spy times and the drunken Thomases, but it's going to be a first pick Granary. Nobody's shocked there, right? Is somebody going to jump out at me there saying like this is a completely shocking pick? Because I feel like this was a strong map always for a Pappy team.
Yeah, definitely. I can report. I myself, and even if you follow my YouTube, you will know I have some great videos on Granary mid going fast and killing scouts. But Lucas, I don't think I even missed any jumps. But today I was playing against him in the warm up, and he was destroying me on every single mid because he's just that fast. So he's really got a good handle on these Granary mids, and I think that's definitely a big asset to them. They also have extremely well executed trades on second, which is really a key situation on Granary. If you can do those well, it can work very, very consistently for you. So they look. Admittedly, it was it was our first sort of scrim together on this map, my cup team, but they absolutely rolled us in this scrim, and so I think they're looking very, very strong on Granary.
All right, and then our second pick will be Moralexi picking out the Gully Wash. Now, this is a map where I don't see any sort of faults coming out from TF2Easy, so, Bum, I'd imagine you're not surprised by them picking this Gully Wash map.
Well, I kind of was surprised from the only game that I had seen of them on Gully Wash, but obviously they're going to know better than me about how their map pool has progressed throughout the season. The one thing that I really saw happening to TF2Easy earlier in the season was that they were losing almost all their Gully Wash mid fights, even against the lower teams. But if they're going to be out here picking it in the grand final, they've obviously got that sorted out by now, surely. So I think, overall, this map pool, we'll get onto the rest in a second, of course, but I do think that this is going to be the best chance we've had in a final for a long time to go the distance. Like, the closest final we've seen in recent history was Feint versus Nerd Rage, I believe, went to 4 maps in the best of 5 with a golden cap in there too. But I think this one could have the potential to go to 5.
On over to our third map, it was going to be Snakewater. I don't have too many reads on this, but I'm a simple-minded person. What about you, Eames? Do you see the sort of genius behind the snake pick?
Well, I mean, at this point, you've got to remember, I mean, there's 3 maps left, and it's sort of just a matter of getting them out of the way in which order. So it's not a huge, neither team will be great or, particularly better or particularly worse on these maps at this point in the order, most likely. So I wouldn't really read too much into it, honestly.
Although, that being said, this was one of the maps from the regular season official that these two teams played against each other, where for most of the game, I believe TF2Easy was in the lead 1-0, but eventually did fall at the final hurdle and lost this map 3-1. In the regular season, Witness took all the points from that official, but both the maps were super, super close.
All right, and going into the final pick for Moralexi and his posse, it will be Metalworks. Now, I mean, usually not too popular of a map, and it'll make a bit more sense when I talk about the bands, which I'm leaving last. But Metalworks, it's people will actually pick in Eames.
Well, rather, they didn't ban it, but yes, an interesting map for sure. Probably certainly the one that EU players are the least well practiced on. So yeah, I'm not really. I mean, it's not going to be. It's not always in the pool, so. But honestly, it's hard to say. The mid fights are quite weird on that map, but I have no idea which team is better.
Right.
If I'm honest.
Hold the phone there, Eames. We're going straight live. Sadly, we can't go through every single map and bit, but we'll do that as the stages carry on. But we are in officially to our grand final start of this ETF2L season 41. Is Witness Gaming EU versus TF2Easy. Let's see how much of an easy time they have starting off this mid. They jump Salenta straight on top of Lucas Stanken, but he has that thing all under control, and the scouts have everything else to control and deal with as well. So it looks like a very clean, simple mid, but just not for the team with Easy in its name.
Yeah, both soldiers going in fast, neither of them able to really get what they wanted. Lucas being the only casualty for Witness Gaming here, able to run this one forwards towards second already. The spawns are up in time, but there's a bit of a battle going on over the point on second right now. That's probably going to come to a halt now that all the spawners have got inside. Witness Gaming going to have to find a way to break through this one.
Now, a very, very important mid, a very important starting map. I feel that, this usually gives the most commanding presence, the good start and it is now a ball game in the court of Witness Gaming. It's theirs to lose at this point, surely.
Oh, Lucas is doing the Scorpion strat. This is something we saw on the stream highlights recently, and he's just trying to get a cheeky kill here. Shooting stickies onto last, kind of behind Auto, and then they push Auto from the front to see if he goes backwards and steps on the trap, but everyone's seen the clip at this point. It's probably not going to happen. These teams aren't going to fall for it. Instead, we've got Witness pushing the flank here. Demo in with a straight sack onto Auto. Gets the drop, actually. 2 rockets instantly takes him down. This is perfect for Witness Gaming. Could be here to get their first round in less than 2 minutes. They've already got the 100% ad last push under their control.
That's got to send shivers down the spine of Auto now, because for the entire 5 maps, he's got to be thinking in the back of his head that I don't want to drop anymore. I don't want people looking at my my mouse trigger finger with a sort of sad face, as they will try and kind of push off the stickies off this point, but they instead just lay back, try to hold their other half of the map over on Witness Gaming. They decide to just jump off the pipe now, deny them the area, and then just play off the point, but they are doing a good job of trying to block, but there's just too much skirmishing power and too much focus fire between the rest of Witness Gaming, and they will close out our first round to their side.
Yeah, that's just a really sad start for TF2easy. There's really not much of an excuse for letting a single soldier sack through Lunchbox have that much value. It's so easy to watch that one and keep it shut down, but we are here into the second mid. Nasboy hasn't got his pack yet, which is dangerous.
Yeah, this is kind of like a stamp or almost a trademark of Luce's mid. He arrives so quickly and he has such a commanding first sticky that usually denies that sort of area for the Demoman to kind of get in, and it allows so much room for the rest of Witness Gaming to make some work happen. They will leave out on these last 2 scouts. They are trying to get on top of this medic. They will be succeeding, but it has cost them a hefty price. And they're going to have a scout buff versus a non-scout buff, and well, what do you know, the scout buff will win.
Yeah, the chase in the end actually does more harm than good. They do get the medic pick, of course, but Morale notices, hang on, I've got the buff, and Toe doesn't. Wins out that 1v1 and takes the second mid. For now, at least, there will be a repush, probably a refight on middle here. Or not. Never mind. Completely ignore me.
I guess they're just playing things safe. They do have the uber advantage when they finally get Domo built up to 100%. It's going to be sitting about, it's only about 30% now, so I guess they're not been building away despite going for that medic advantage rather than the mid.
Yeah, well, there is actually an advantage that they don't look to be moving forwards on. They should already be kind of peaking places if they want to go off an advantage this small, so looks like they're just gonna call it quits, let it be even for now, and give TF2easy kind of the advantage, let them play how they want, hope they make a mistake and react off of that from Witness.
Yeah, with that 1-0 sort of lead, it will kind of make things a bit scary for TF2easy, especially if they have to push through Granary, and it's just very tiny doors. It's just awkward sort of placing and huge map for them to get across. And yeah, look, you can see they've already forced the mistakes out of them by forcing 2 soldiers in, trying to get on top of that Domo and get that force out, but they have just as equal of a tough time trying to get into midpoint for Witness Gaming, so we're just going to probably see a lot back and forth until someone strikes gold here, Bum.
Yeah, we saw actually, well, there's a flank bust coming out right now, never mind what we saw. Sil has just taken command of the entire left side here, and they are looking to just take this area, kind of forces Witness Gaming back inside, because they know that they can get flanked so easily and forced from the back, so they've just managed to control all of Yard from that excellent bust onto left side. So well played for TF2easy, turning pretty much no advantage into a pretty sizable gaining ground.
Yeah, but there's a bit of credit to give to Witness Gaming EU. Usually somebody's going to die in that little exchange, that sort of awkward little sandwich, as they are kind of flanking them, pincing them from behind, but they all get out quite unscathed here and go into part 2 of their second defense. So credit where credit's due. It was We're just kind of waiting on what sort of playbook is in the barrel for TF2Easy. They will just pop in, trying to get the force out, but Domo is ironclad on holding on to that Uber. Solentes is set up, though, to get a nice couple of rockets to now force the Uber. It will cost him his life, but it's going to be Orca trying to get out of this second point, and they've got so much chaos happening in all the parts of the maps. They probably just want to hold off on their second and just kind of solidify things. Oh no, Thomas steps a toe out into yard area, will get pipe, and Naspo even gets the closing pipe from Z onto Classy as well. Without 2 scouts, it's going to be very demanding for Witness Gaming EU to hold on to this second point, and they give it up completely. They are already pushing to last in true TF2 aggressive style. Pappy sees it though. He wants to try and take the medics out of the equation for this. Will get taken out, however. Can't quite land the rockets, and as the dominoes fall, the round falls as well, Bum.
Yeah, that was a really nice one from TF2Easy. Like, their initial Uber was really terrible. Domo absolutely hard countered them by being just so far away that he could hold S, completely ignore that Uber. But then his own retaking the point wasn't too successful either, and TF2Easy played really well, baited them in, and when Witness overstepped the mark, they got punished.
Alright, and let's see if Nasboy is actually rolling out from top this time. Lucas kind of sees it coming and shoots a sticky in his face to kind of greet him going into our next mid. And Lucas will get some early pressure again from Solentes, and again will deal with Solentes rather quickly. They're on the back foot here for TF2Easy, and they're trying to get out. Maybe they could get some sort of turnaround kills. They turn over in the yard area, seeing if they can get any sort of aggressive sort of jumping scouts or soldiers who are trying to go for that auto pick.
Yep, and eventually TF2Easy just getting slowly but steadily forced out here. Morale should be a pick over in the corner, but in the meantime, this is opportunity for Nubby to come down behind. They haven't seen him. He lands onto Domo, gets 2 rockets in. Domo Balls of Steel does eventually force, though, and because he surfed back, that actually lets his players get fragged off in front of him. He wasn't able to put the beam on them, so now TF2Easy, they just kill the players who aren't getting healed, and they manage to convert this into a mid-push.
They will get some of those players back from the respawn queue, however, and they could maybe look to take a fight here. No Ubers between both of these teams, and yep, I see some people getting a buff in. Thomas is trying to get on top to just block off the point, and oh no, actually they don't decide to throw anyone on the point. They just want to take the ground and play off the skirmishers without blocking, and it's all gone down to just a simple fights here. I'm seeing a lot more blue winning than red, and yeah, I think no consolation prizes either. They might take out Nasboy, but they won't take out Auto, and that could be the sign of this easy round for them.
Yeah, keeping it clean at the end of the fight, not slipping up and letting Toe get behind onto Auto. Only 3 spawns in time, no demo, no medic. This could be a very, very fast engage and a very fast round. 2 scouts on the point already, only Pappy there to stop it. The Uber is out, which actually does slow them down a bit, but that's not going to be enough of a mistake to let this one slip. A very easy round for TF2Easy, and they take the lead.
2 rounds on the Pappy choice of map, on the choice of Witness Gaming EU. This is a strong and commanding start to any best of 5, but can they keep it up? There's still 20 minutes left, and that's a long time in FPS land.
Yeah, very long time. Easily could be turned around, especially for a team like Witness, as we come into this 4th mid. Both teams playing it a little slowly, but Nubby and Sil in with this huge double bomb. Nubby lands on the lamp actually and is unable to follow up on Sil immediately. Nasboy does come in to finish off the job though, but they're not getting the frags they really need, and now 2 scouts are just going to escort Auto out of there.
Never have I seen such hate for Lucas on these mids. They will throw not just 1 soldier, but 2 soldiers practically dedicated at him, and they gobble them up every single time. They see this play coming, and I don't see any change of strategy despite this being the 4th mid. They really just want to pressure Lucas at every given moment, but they will kind of convert this into an easy yard push, as they have got the threat of just those players, those numbers, and they will give it up easily over on TF2Easy.
And Nubby again wants to play around drop down here. Classy's got his eye on it this time, so it's not going to be as easy as the force of last time, and he does actually just get taken down completely for free. This could be the counter-sack opportunity. Doomul is already in Lunchbox. Everyone on TF2Easy playing around Auto right now, making sure the same mistake doesn't happen again, as in fact a trade comes in. Pappy just taking it straight in through the door. It's going to get juggled up and killed after the Uber up top. Morale going down as well, and Nasboy is getting cornered by 2 scouts here. Really unlucky for him. Gaz is trying to salvage anything he can. Nubby comes in to help him out, and it looks like the second point is going to get blocked actually by Nubby as a kind of last-ditch attempt, but that looks like it was a mistake, and this gives Witness a chance to convert this second round and bring us to 2-2.
You didn't see that every day, but Pappy, when he split off from the Uber there, Salentes chose to actually chase him instead, and that allowed the rest of Witness Gaming to just come in, get on top of that combo, and they were just trading so many players. I think if it weren't for Demo just making a lot of things happen, his collapse coming in and getting a few kills, it could have gone disastrous there for Witness Gaming EU.
Welcome to our system message, friends. If you are joining us from the TF2 servers, you've joined us at the height of the best match of TF2 you'll see this season, as we are into the 5th mid. Nubby bombing straight across. Gaz going to be the first one to die to a Demo bomb this time, but it looks like TF2easy have the upper hand on this mid as they do take down Pappy at the end as well, securing this advantage to run forwards into second. Looks like they're already out to inside second from from Witness Gaming, sorry.
There you go, but there's the change of strategy. Salentes was like, I'm done with dealing with Lucas's pipes. I'm just going to jump some soldiers. I'm just going to jump any other bodies instead. And sure, Lucas is commanding at the start of the mid, but during the rest of it, he doesn't really get much room to work with. And yeah, they just had to back out, even with a buffed Lucas stank.
Yeah, in the meantime, Nubby has gone for a sack, and this gives an opportunity for Classy to really push this flank. Demo's over there helping him out too, but they're going to get forced back to safety by a few rockets from Sil there. And we'll see if they have another plan to bust into this second. Nubby's single sack through Lunchbox didn't really get the medic force that they were so hoping for. So we'll have to see what TF2easy's next course of action is.
Yeah, it is quite gentleman's code. The one with the most forward respawn usually wants to start, just throwing bodies in. The ones that make plays, and between both of these teams now, it tied up a piece, 16 minutes. It's very much, down to anybody could win this. So I feel like nobody's going to be parking any sort of buses anytime soon.
Yeah, Nubby trying to really force Demo off the high ground here. It seems like they're just having a spam war up top. And it looks like maybe Sil was going to go for a sack from the front as that was happening. There's a lot of cap time coming out from Morale as well. He's just edging the point, trying to bait anyone to block him and then try and kind of frag whoever comes to block. But all this time, Pappy has been building up the battalion's backup. It's on 60%. So that is going to be a useful asset for pushing out if they want to take a trade after this battalion's backup gets charged.
Yeah, they're kind of almost cheekily rotating the one player through Z and just kind of hot stepping over the point and just picking at it one by one. Nubby will go down to Demo. It's a good thing he's a 4 HP warrior, otherwise I think he wouldn't have survived that exchange. But it's okay, back to the drawing board for Nubby, maybe even a class change.
Yeah, it's unlucky that Nubby doesn't get that kill, but at least he gets Demo so low that he has to go and resupply anyway, going all the way back to spawn. It's pretty much the same, you just don't get the death on your logs. Sil in with a solo sack now, trying to find his way onto Domo, only finds one rocket into the head of Pappy instead, which is not good enough. Classy once again taking this soldier advantage to kind of bust through the flank side, and his whole team following up with him this time. They're trying to take Yard for free here. This could be an Uber exchange, and in fact the banner does get popped off from Pappy, so they will have an advantage in this fight, taking a bit less damage as soon as he releases that.
He's holding on to it for dear life. They will actually force out the Uber, and they will respond in kind as well. When you've got not only invincibility, but battalion's backup as well, and they keep Auto out of that door, bounce him up from the corner, so they're guaranteed a lot of important frags for this push going into mid. Nubby, he's up high, he's going for the double sync bomb. He doesn't quite get Domo, he can't get him, he's too hard to hit! And the sync doesn't quite latch up against Domo. He's back to full health here and a disastrous sort of defense.
The worst thing to see when you're trying to kill a medic, 149 damage from Nubby's rocket launcher, and still has a spare rocket but just beefs it. Domo manages to live in the end. horrible, horrible news for TF2Easy as they do end up with a disadvantage back on their own second. Gazzy's taking pot shots, but he does get forced off the sniper here. They might even have to give up second. They're holding this so far back, waiting for Witness Gaming to just cut them off from the point, which they've already done by coming in through Lunchbox here. And there is a tiny little advantage, but if they go too fast, it won't matter. Here comes the Uber from TF2Easy in return, forcing them back out, and no one ends up dying in that exchange.
A very late pop coming out from Doma there. They just really wanted to milk as much sort of free ground as they could get out of that last. It's a long last point, so I can understand it, but in all that sort of greediness, they will allow Auto to get his Uber charge back, and he manages to pop it on that last defense. So we're going to reset again. Even the sentry gun got taken out in all the fray. Classy will get picked off whilst everyone's trying to take a breather and rekindle their Ubers again. And oh my god, Auto's already got like 30% against Doma. What's going on?
Yeah, this is really, really weird. Doma's not been building very well, but wow, Tomas does not care.
Tomas doesn't care. Tomas just gobbled up 2 players on his own on that right-hand side. We don't need Ubers, they said over on Witness Gaming. They've got a heavy weapons guy next, but Tomas is let loose. He's on the point. He forces another pick and them onto the point and the Uber as well. What has this kid been eating?
Dude, Tomas is the MVP of Witness Gaming. Just single-handedly gets them this 100% Uber charge advantage to rush back in here. Gazzy's not even respawned from the first time he killed him. They've already got that heavy off the point. Salento's going down. They just need to find the rest of the frags here as they do bomb forwards onto Morale, but he's putting a lot of damage in. Does eventually go down. Witness, just a matter of time before they take this one, I think. Pappy on the point, getting it half capped up already. And it looks like that's the one. Man, Toe, what a huge play to get them into this position. That should never be happening.
Oh my god, you could see the sigh of relief when Salentes and lot popped their Uber. It's like, okay, it's fine, he can't frag through the Uber. And they just kind of backed out quite seamlessly and just went back in again. And it was a pitiful sight seeing what was formidable heavy getting picked off and plinked off again in that second push. Aye. Well, we've got 11 minutes left. It's been quite back and forth, so maybe, you know, the mids have swung to the way of TF2Easy. Let's see if they can keep up this momentum on the mids at least. Salentes now not going for a demo man pick. He's trying to aim for those soldiers instead, and Nubby also trying to go for those scouts as well.
Yeah, no, this time Nubby and Sil both went behind while the rest of the players kind of took it slow, just countered the enemy bombs, and this seems to have worked out much, much better. Nubby and Sil got a lot of value from coming back in from behind, and now it's just a 4v2. Make sure Classy doesn't get on your medic, and you're all good to go here.
Planting stickies at the feet of these scouts. It's the only way they can kind of make these dices a bit more dicey when they're throwing them across in these mid-fights, as they will get their nice easy peasy mid and start pushing in. They've got an Uber charge, you know.
Yeah, they do have the advantage here. Second already been given up. There's a bit of spam from up top, but this is going to be our first kind of traditional mid to last instant push that we've seen from TF2Easy. We'll have to see how they can manage it. They've got to focus down this sentry, get people on the point, and keep control of top.
What a time to move your sentry gun as Tomas, and the sentry gun does absolutely nothing. It just spends a good time building itself, and they get so much point pressure, and I'm sure they were counting on that sentry gun to do a lot more work there, and they just pick up their free round.
Yeah, that's a good spot. That sentry being completely kind of incompetent there, just does absolutely nothing. Gets taken down instantly without even getting to fire a shot while it's deploying, and that is a perfect scenario for TF2Easy, bringing us straight into this 7th mid. What a fast game we've had so far.
Speaking of fast, Lucas, he just beats Nas to the point every single time, and Nas, I don't think I've seen him gobble up a single health pack, let alone anything. Nubby focusing down Domo here, very, very different from all the mids we've seen so far, so they might kind of count on healing and protecting Auto during all this. They're even dipping back to their second point to make sure that this man cannot die, but they're still chasing here. They're still going through the choke points, trying to get that Auto pick, because they know it's not just about the battle, it's about the war here, Bond.
Yeah, and playing around Auto so well at the end there, just blobbing on him, letting everyone from Witness feed into you, really is giving TF2easy the advantage at the end of these mids. And they do once again have 100% advantage to work with. If we can see a replica of last time, they're going to take the lead and be in a good point to take this first map.
All right, so we've got Thomas on that heavy weapons guy, leaning on the left-hand side now. The sentry gun is being built, and it is on patrol. No moving this time, but they kind of take advantage of the time when it upgrades, and now it gets cleaned up as well. The timing just couldn't be any worse for these sentry gun movements and upgrades, as they will kind of push in, and it looks a bit pear-shaped, going in and rotating round, and the scouts are trying to punish these low injured scouts, trying to get out of second. Oh, it's that back cap or front cap, you can call it. Nubby will bring some eyeballs back to last and take a pipe for his troubles.
Yeah, a nice try from Nubby, just not enough in the end. There's, well, I was going to say there's an overcharge advantage, but there isn't really, as the respawn for Domo comes up just a second later. There is second control now in the hands of Witness Gaming, but still, TF2easy in control of the match here, in control of mid and yard. Classy has spotted an opportunity. He sees that flank is clear, but he's not really able to take it with anyone. There's still respawners rolling out, so it looks like we're just going to chill here on second. And I'm interested to see what TF2easy have to break this one, because so far they've really just been kind of failing at this one, but then kind of managing to capitalize off of Witness Gaming sloppily pushing out of it.
Yeah, well, let's see. I don't really see too many players kind of. They're just going for maybe a lunchbox push. Yeah, they're just going to bring some sort of heavy hitters on the left-hand side. Actually, no, just giving Nubby a buff, and they're going to rotate back round again. It is 3-3 between these two teams, so maybe they'll go for that sort of cheeky play they were doing last time, where they just keep running a scout over point over and over again, slowly capping it out. No, they go for just the cheeky sort of...
they dropped the demo from the Uber.
The Uber in, the single Uber in, straight on top of the demo. They just weren't paying attention in trying to preserve Domo's life so much and back off. He wasn't connected to the beam. They get a nice demo man pick for the starting fight, and in the second fights and the post fight, they're just lacking the firepower.
Yeah, just absolutely nothing to be done here. Toe, though, in behind, gets a free kill onto Nubby. Lucas has respawned in the meantime, and somehow this is falling apart for TF2easy. Nasboy can't hit the pipes, and the respawns are here. No way! That turns around. That was a full wipe on second apart from Thomas, and he just manages to clutch up once again, gets the kill to slow that push down. Nasboy spawns just in time, and now this is a completely different scenario to what we had before. The Ubercharge advantage is still in the hands of TF2easy, so they might be able to salvage this, but they will be kicking themselves. That should have been their round.
Oh, Moralex's mad and he wants to get in. He tries to pepper around Pappy. Pappy's still alive though, and he's going behind. Lucas gets some kills on some over-eager Ubered players, and they decide to slap back. The only constellation they have here is Nubby, who is a bit behind, thinking about, should I touch the point or should I try and touch that medic? I'm going to touch the point, he says, as he will bring some heads back to the second point. Put a little wrench in the works of Witnesses Gaming's counter-attack, but it's maybe just a small little gesture when it comes to the grand scheme of things.
But every second he's delaying here is value. The Pain Train as well coming in clutch there to really scare Witness Gaming to come back. In the meantime, though, on middle, they've found a pick onto Morale, and they know that Nubby is still behind, which means there's basically only 4 players ahead of them. If they all just go forwards together, they can take this 4v6, get in quite easily, but instead they're sending 3 back for Nubby. Classy and Demol do just double team him in garage, and eventually he'll go down.
Ooh, well, 3 minutes, well, 4 minutes, but I should say 3 rounds, and maybe a 4th round coming in. Thomas will lead the charge. They haven't even got a heavy weapon guy on the scene yet, because they thought they're still capping second, for God's sake. What are you doing at last? As they will all try and defend from this point. Gazzy's even brought out the pyro to defend this last point. He's burning them asunder. He's forcing those rockets back at the soldiers, and they will hold here on TF2easy, Bum.
Yeah, thank God they got some momentum coming back into this one. if you think about how close they were to winning this round just minutes ago, to lose it like that would have been an absolute tragedy, but here they go. They've managed to get themselves off of last. They've got a small Ubercharger advantage for middle as well. They could be running this one forwards if they feel like it. Classy's not there yet, as he's just respawned. But instead, it's going to be Nubby trying to grab a pack, walking over that Lucas trap, and gets a nice, easy pick-up on that kill. Again, we see Auto building much better than Domo. He's managed to turn this 20% ad into a near 50% advantage, but they really have to wait for Nubby, which is going to kind of tear apart their plans here.
It just made me wonder, at this high level where players are just assuming that everyone has things done as efficiently as possible, they just put these sort of principles aside and just maybe focus on some other sort of plays. I don't know, I'm trying to justify it here, Bum.
Yeah, that's the thing about building, is you always have to assume the enemy has done it correctly. That's the change we've seen with the Solemn Vow being allowed. Obviously the head, the medic melee that lets you see enemy Uber. The main biggest thing we've seen is just being able to punish enemies who you might just spot haven't actually built as well as they should be, and being able to kind of instantly react to that and push off it is a pretty big deal, considering most of the time you don't know whether the enemy has built or not. You can't really track how much a scout Boston bashes themselves, so you just have to assume they've done it right.
Oh, Demo is going for the big boy bomb. Double rocket off the pillar. Silentes controls Demo. I don't see much follow-up though, however. I think it's because Nubby was pushing them at the same time, and they're trying to turn this sort of defense into a counter-attack here. And Lucas is the one that's getting in the way of all these plans. He's putting out so much damage. Thomas and Lucas are the ones left against Gazzy and Silentes. Demoman versus Soldier difference. And Lucas, he wants to chase. He puts the brakes on. He's like, no, sir, do not want to get air shot today.
Well, Sil put the brakes on him. A nice direct, really screws up his rocket jump there, or his sticky jump even. But either way, they do get control of Yard. And there's 1 minute 40 left on the game. Right now, if this ties up, we're going to be going to Golden Cap. Lucas once again trying the Scorpion strat. Maybe they won't be looking at it right about now. So deep into the game. Auto nearly steps on it for a second there, but the trap has been all but diffused. 90 seconds left. We need to see if Witness can change up this game, can convert the round, or whether we're going to be going to overtime.
Alright, the objectives here are pretty easy to follow for TF2Easy. Just defend. You don't even need to attack, you just need to defend and get to this Golden Cap. That's their way in to winning this map. But there's still a possibility for the rest of Pappy and company to close out this round. A minute left. It's quite a long time. I know it's deceptive, but it could go as quickly as 20 seconds here in these last final bouts of the game. And it's just kind of up to the pool of Demo, I think, to make something happen. I think he's got one more shot, but otherwise it's going to go to a Golden Cap.
Yeah, Witness's goal here is to run the clock down until there's no chance TF2Easy can make a huge comeback push, and then just go for some all-out play. And this could be it, as they Uber in through top. 40 seconds on the clock, they find nothing with the Uber. Expertly played by TF2Easy, completely avoiding it. Pappy's in with a sack onto last, gets air shot by Silentes, and now the counter Uber coming in on second, but it's been capped by Witness Gaming, and they're already bombing everyone through into last. They're just throwing bodies at the point, and it's not going to work out. We are going to overtime, TurboTabs. 3-3 on the first map. This is an exciting start to the Grand Finals.
And it is a important map as well. The one that kind of thinks if TF2Easy can get that is a statement to be made. They're not only beating them, but they're beating them on their first map choice.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to pick your most solid map just immediately to get some momentum going into the best of 5. So it's really surprising to see TF2Easy taking it so close, even in a position to win this almost immediately. I don't know if we've got Eemes ready and raring to go to give us some analysis of what happened in regular time.
Do. So many things to analyze. Such an intense back and forth game there, and really nail-bitingly close between the teams. But what's crucial here is obviously going to be the mid fight. So they've been quite back and forth. We saw Yeah, we haven't started yet. Wait, no, we have not. It's we will be on your screens very soon, but I do have time to tell you about the mid fights, which are the story of this map. Was to begin with, Lucas going so fast, as I mentioned in the pre-game, was completely locking TF2easy out of the mids, and really giving them the win pretty much by default, because TF2easy didn't know what to do and they just had so little space at the start. But very smartly they wised up to that, and TF2easy, they recognized Nasboy was never even bothering to take the pack. He was just staying healthy, not even contesting Lucas at all, and then just getting ready to commit with his soldiers late on. And they were going straight into Lucas, and they won, I think, the final 2 mids because of that. So a really nice adaptation by Witness, by TF2easy there. And so now we're going to need to see what a Witness going to change, because this strat of Lucas going fast is not, yielding anything anymore, as he's basically just standing far forward on his own, but he's got no one to shoot. So they need to change something up and really, have a completely different approach to the mid. The other thing I'll say is that the key, aside from the mids, the key point on this map has actually been the second point. So pretty much every single time Witness Gaming has been in yard with Witness has been in yard with TF2easy on inside, they have won that stalemate. Even if it's been even Ubers, they've taken a trade, or they've gotten a pick, or they got a drop one time on auto, and they got the round off of that. So they've been very, very consistent at converting those, compared to TF2easy, who have not been very good. They've just been doing solo sacks most of the time and rarely converting that situation. So that's a key difference between the teams. But once again, if to finish my rant here, if Witness can win this mid, even just with just with one pick, and they leave, if they can take it to second, they will have that situation which they know how to execute in the second, the yard to second stalemate, and then they can probably take a round off of that. So that's going to be their plan. They don't need to hard win mid. They just need to get some kind of, 6v5, force them out, and that's all they need.
All right, Eames, talk to me about the mind games of Golden Cap here. You know it's going to be the one and only, so there's no do-overs. Do you go and change your sort of scrim strats, the ones that you the usual mid-fights you clinging on, or do you just pull out a Hail Mary that is just going to sucker punch the enemy team in that one mid you get?
I think for Witness, they maybe not quite a Hail Mary, but they're going to want to pull something out. The standard strat, where they, as I mentioned, Lucas going fast has not been working for them, so I'm expecting something different. Maybe he goes to the pack from choke instead of top. He has been doing that every time. Maybe they go aggressive right side. That's a maybe you see teams do sometimes, but certainly they're going to want to change something up, because it really seems like TF2easy have had their number for these past few mids.
All right, and Eames, I'm gonna say the quote, but do they not go to mid? Do they not go to mid?
They definitely go to mid here. None of that. It's we did see a little bit of a play like that by TF2easy just at the end. They didn't even commit to second at all. They were pretty much standing on their last in that fight. But no, they're going to want to contest it. They need to get ahead in this round, because especially on Granary, these stalemates pretty much always favour the team that already has more ground. So yeah, this mid fight is going to be absolutely crucial, given how good given how good Witness are at converting stalemates into last pushes.
All right, thank you very much, Eames. We'll put you back in your box as we are unfolding our nice present of our grand final first map, Golden Cap. Ladies and gentlemen, start biting your nails as we're going in to our last mid of Granary. Let's see, Lucas already turning up promptly, putting 2 stickies on that health pack. They're double downing here over on the Witness Gaming EU, and it's coming down to the skirmishes. First kill on Gazzy, already a good start for Witness Gaming, and I just see a very, very confused TF2easy Bum.
Yeah, they all end up getting Witness Gaming low, but don't convert any of those frags, which really doesn't slow Witness down at all. They can just get those players bowed back up, don't have to wait for any respawns or nothing, as they do instantly get control the second as well. It's even Ubers, Pappy dies to a trap, so that's all nice stuff to slow Witness Gaming down and keep them out of this last, but TF2easy have to be worried now. They need to find a way back into this map. Sill on the heavy, Gazzy getting the gun up as well, just really doubling down on this defense here. We'll see how Witness Gaming are going to try and force off auto, or whether they'll just go for something else entirely.
We've all done that exam, that one that really makes you kind of sweat, and this has to be the final question, the final test here for Witness Gaming EU. It's this last point with the heavy weapons guy. Gazzy's moved that sentry gun so close that he's going to have such a demanding thing. Moralexi's brought out the sniper as well. What more scary things could they even bring out here for this last event?
Right, and while we've got time, I'll go over Golden Cap for those of you unfamiliar. Whoever wins the next round instantly wins the map, no matter what. If the round hasn't been won for 15 minutes, we're going to reset it all again. We're just going to play a mid-fight, a penalty shootout mid-fight, and whoever caps mid first will be the winner of the map in that case. So everything relies on this now for this first map. TF2Easy are on the edge of losing it all already. Deemul trying to defuse a trap here, get an angle for Thomas. Seeing if he can spot the head of Nasboy, who's just kind of jiggling around, peeking it, jumping up and down. Now he's called out that this is where the sniper is. Morale taking the angle as well to try and look for a sniper 1v1. But he's changed it over to the left side, getting someone to hold the door open for him.
It's a good thing you gave a quick PSA, because even I forgot about that sort of rule. They do another mid, don't they? Completely slip the mind. I'm an old fossil, you know. So, alright, maybe. I don't think anybody wants to try these mids as well. It's not like any particular team has had a very commanding mid throughout this entire series, so nobody wants to try that coin flip. It's really 100% down to Witness Gaming and what they can cook up here. It's a lot of weight on the shoulders of these two snipers, though. Who do you fancy here, Bum?
I mean, I have to pick Kunu Moralexi in this sniper 1v1. Obviously, came up from Highlander Sniper way back when he was called Koff. Now about 9 name changes since. He's still got the snipes, but Thomas finds a completely different player to take the head off of Nubby up top.
Oh my god, an exchange of snipes here. Oh, they actually finish off Moralexi with some support fire from Deemul as well. That's 2 players down, but they do have a sniper though for Witness Gaming EU. It does make it a bit pear-shaped when it comes to pushing in, and with losing Deemul, that's got to be no more motivation for the Witness Gaming to make this push happen. He tries to go for the hero shot on auto, will get gunned down though, but there was a chance, a hope there, Bum.
Yeah, but that's not the time to be doing it when you've already lost 1 pick and other people are getting pushed elsewhere as well. Thankfully, TF2Easy, they don't go straight in to capitalize off of those 2 picks. It's obviously very difficult to move through this area of the map in either direction. Nubby just looks like he wants to build up this banner to be used instead to push in, rather than them risking it all. This is really the kind of situation that even when you get those advantages like that, you wonder if it's worth going for. You wonder, if we wait a bit longer, can we get something better than 2 picks? Because we don't want to risk that, make one little mistake and lose the entire map off the back of it. So they're just playing it safe here from TF2Easy, gonna build up this banner instead.
Moralexi kind of scratching his head, wondering, are they still running a sniper there? He just had a quick check on the Spy Disguise 9000, and yep, he is still running sniper over on Thomas. So we'll continue to go for the counter sniper, and it always puts pressure, even if there's like a massive gap between snipers, because you have to play just a bit differently. Oh, okay, Deemul. I'll pretend I didn't see that, Deemul.
Yeah, we can turn a blind eye to that one. Sil in with a sack. If he gets Pappy here, this is very, very good. 2 soldiers down and a sniper on the defense on second. This is the opportunity that TF2Easy were looking for, and Sil's got in behind as well. He's seeing this flank, begging his team to get in. They take down Thomas with the shot from Moralexi as well. So good for TF2Easy.
Deemul's gonna go down as well, and Salantis is in a dangerous sort of health region where he can still make plays happen. He will push them back, and that's yard gained just like that there, Bum.
Yeah, Sil's opportunity there, the ability of him to just get in and not even trade with Pappy despite them both being low, just straight up getting the kill, changes everything, lets them out of second, lets them into yard as well, and now TF2Easy have some breathing room. They can relax. They have a bit more ground than they needed, and now they don't just instantly lose the map if they make one little mistake. They've got something to work with here. Deemul sacks straight into a trap, and this gives TF2Easy yet another opportunity. We'll see what they go for. Nubby and Sil taking space in garage, but not looking too keen to go for anything on this time around.
Keep seeing the same story happening over and over again. Deemul will get picked off, and then it kind of snowballs from there, but they have put the effective breaks on this mid time, and they will not lose any more players, and they're just being very cautious. No more silly feeding now between any of these players.
Yeah, and with Nubby getting the banner up, they actually bait Thomas into a kill as well. This is great. One scout down makes the sack so much easier.
He's jumping Domo. He throws out 3 rockets. Can't quite find the pick on them, but that was an amount of space made, but no follow-up dedicated in. It's just too risky for them to go for the play over on TF2Easy.
Yeah, well, they don't want to follow up with Nubby because they want to keep his banner up and counting. He's at 92% right now, but there's 2 opportunities as the sack comes in from Pappy. In fact, he's just making space. He's going to get himself back out. But yeah, there's 2 plays that they can make with this banner. Either he just pops it off on himself, jumps in for a force, and uses that 30% damage reduction to try and get the force.
Wait a hot second. That's not a class check. That's an actual spy here from the midpoint of Granary. Well, I thought he was taking his time. He uncloaks. Domo doesn't know. He stands still. He gets the stab. That's a massive, gargantuan pick to start off. Going into this comeback for TF2Easy, they have to push on this, Bum.
Yeah, it's all TF2Easy now. They can get the ball rolling. Nubby can use this damage reduction, so they kind of have a mini Uber. They won't even get forced as they come into mid. Looks like that is going to be his play. He jumps back.
He even stood back, so there's less likely for them to hear the noise here. They pop off the banner. They're trying to get in out of the corner. They're checking all the spots first, though, using that banner time to see if they can just get in for free and just make sure nobody throws a wrench into the works. And there you have it. They've got mid now. They're taking a bite ever so slowly here out of this Granary map. Bum.
Yeah, absolutely what they needed to do. Perfect use of the banner, and now they still have this Ubercharge advantage to go. 30% though, they need to speed it up or slow it down here. They just don't want to go in at that deadly time where you think you have an advantage, but you throw it all away. And it looks like now the Uber is coming up for Domo. They're just going to let this one be even. They don't want to make the mistake of going too fast and biting off more than they can chew. Smart play from TF2Easy. And they are just slowly but surely crawling their way across the map towards Witness's death here with 5 minutes left on the clock. This is tense.
It's a 5-step program here, Bun, and it's been a very successful 3 steps, but what's this 4th step? I want to know what they've got cooked up for this 2nd point, because Eames talked about it earlier. It's been about this 2nd point, and it's really been kind of easy for Witness Gaming EU on these sort of 2nd conversions, but I want to know what TF2Easy have cooked up.
Well, they still have this banner from Nubby, and this point is much, much easier to build banner on than any other. Nubby can be peeking these doors freely and spamming those 40 damage rockets on just to build up the damage, build that banner up. But we do see a counter banner from Demul on the other side as well, which is going to be keeping things even in not only the Uber sense, but the soldier mini Uber sense, I suppose.
See Nasboy trying to throw some stickies over the point, going for that Scorpion play, and I mean, what a storyline that would be. The one team that didn't really do it all game are going to close out the map with it. That would be just poetic.
Yeah, both teams fully aware of it, though. Not going to be easy to make that one work. And time is ticking right now. 4 minutes 30 to make a play for TF2Easy. They're putting Silentes up top. Might just go for a solo sack here. The stickies on the wall.
He's just walked
in.
He's walked past the stickies. He's going on top of Demul. Will get the pick, but it is just that Roma exchange. Is he the Roma?
Yes. I think Sil is the pocket, but I wouldn't know. But either way, they take down Demul's banner and have Nubby's banner up to full. So what we could see here is trading off the Ubers, getting them out of the way, and then seeing a repush from TF2Easy with the banner. Or we might just see Nubby utilize it as a bonus on his sack, just make it a little bit easier to get all the way in onto Domo.
Now, I know it reduces a lot of damage, the battalion's back up, but you can put a lot of damage in this choke point. They actually opt to... Oh no!
They dropped Lucas again!
They drop Lucas. This is disastrous. Now they just go for a second push. Domo's on his own. And will connect the soldier back. Sil tries to come behind. He gets the kill onto Domo, so he's already had a presence on this flank. They've gotten in on past second. They're on last. They're on the point. There's no stickies. They've got the round. The first map of Witness Gaming EU is lost here, Bum.
TF2easy had their back against the wall. They were on the ropes on their own last, and they didn't even abuse Witness mistakes. They didn't even get lucky. They had a play for every single one of these points, and one by one, they took it all the way across the map into that instant focus of Lucas right at the end, again, that we've already seen out of them. They just take him down, have that damage advantage and the banner advantage in that last push, and take it all the way back to them. Such a good play from TF2easy to win out this first map, and if that's what we're going to see in the next 4, I am excited.
This is not an FPS game anymore, Bum. This is just a puzzle, and they've just cracked them here in this first map. I've never seen just an outsmart, and this is the smart man's team, Witness Gaming. I guess it's just going to be a sort of play of the brain rather than the FPS here on this best of 5, but it's not overly easy. Like I said, pack those sandwiches, get that coffee on, because we're here for a marathon, as it could go to 5 maps. But let's bring Eemes in here, let's get those logs in, and let's start talking about Granary.
Yeah, I mean, if that game is anything to go by, definitely a marathon, not a sprint. I mean, yeah, TF2easy getting the W in the end, but that was a long, slow grind all the way back from their own last. And, you know, people sometimes say Granary is the only 7 CP map. You have to take inside a second and yard and mid and the other yard and the other inside a second. And they did it the whole way. Lots of different plays coming out. You know, they sniped, they got the Sil spy play, then they took second. But really, it came down to what we saw, in fact, in normal time, which almost netted TF2easy around, which was the TF2easy trade from second onto Witness, and they dropped Lucas. Now, in the ordinary time, this should 100% have been around for TF2easy, but Thomas made a crazy play, and they somehow just about held it by the skin of their teeth, then they rolled them all the way back. But Lucas and Domo, between them, they didn't wise up to this play, and the exact same thing happened this time. They had the banner, which was an added bonus, but really, as soon as Lucas went down there, that's very likely a round for TF2easy if they can just convert. So it's quite disappointing, really, for that same mistake to just happen again. I mean, they waited around in the stalemate, so perhaps they were getting a bit bored, you know, they were sort of lost concentration, not getting bored, but, you know, they maybe peeking chokes, wondering what was going to happen, but they did the exact same thing as before, and it worked just as it had before.
Bum, how do you pick an MVP during this game? Because I could have sworn I wrote Thomas in pen on the piece of paper, but I need some like whiteout now, because Salentes just made play after play after play.
Absolutely, I have to point out Salentes on multiple occasions. He's the one getting them out of these sticky situations. There were 2 occasions where he's in a 1v1 with another soldier where, you know, 99 times out of 100, both those soldiers trade with each other's rockets and go down. And on both of them, Sil keeps himself alive and gets a pick that he doesn't deserve to get for free. And that just basically turns what would be a 1-for-1 into a 2-man advantage or something like that, which is absurdly good value for having such low health at the end of a play. And as you said, Toe was trying his best. We permanent marked him in as the MVP for the map, and now, yeah, definitely Tipexing that one out. Sil bringing them into this second map single-handedly with the advantage. So nice. And obviously his spy play as well has to be shouted out on middle there.
God, who goes spy at that point as well? And he even fluffed a little bit at last where he was trying to get onto the pipe as well, but I didn't want to bring the boy down. I don't want to demotivate him off the class. Eemes, you strike me as like a big picture sort of guy, you know, trying to race, like, you know, obviously that the last 30 seconds or so from your mind. And out of all these players, who are you poaching after that Granary performance?
Well, certainly in normal time, it would have had to be Thomas. He had 2 absolutely huge plays. The one I mentioned, which saved a round, and in fact, which Witness rolled that round all the way to TF2easy's last and got it from. And also this 3k on last, which came really out of nowhere. Lucas was spamming a bit on right side, and Thomas just runs in and kills Nasboy, and I think maybe a scout as well, or was it a soldier?
It was
And
a
then
soldier, and then he gets Gazzy on the point as well, right at the end of it.
yeah, it just totally out of the blue play. You really don't expect it to be your pocket scout getting picks in a stalemate, but there, it happened, and just playing solid throughout. So Toe had a very strong game, but there's not really much he can do in these. I mean, he hit a nice headshot in a stalemate. He was extremely close. I don't know if we were on his cam, but to dropping auto when Witness were on TF2Easy's last. But no, he didn't quite hit the shot. Auto just did a sort of strange jump right in front of him, and he missed it. That could have been the whole game right there if he'd have hit it, but no, he didn't. And instead, it was Sil coming in clutch. So I'm going to have to give it to Sil on that, especially if there's just so many different plays on that Golden Cap.
All right, gentlemen, we were kind of interrupted in our little sort of map breakdown, but we can talk about it now as we're going into our second map, because this is the one where some question marks, even by the players themselves, have been drawn. The process hasn't been picked. The map that looks like a pretty easy pick for TF2Easy, and a map I think even Pappy says alone he doesn't think he's very confident on the map. They don't decide to pick it. They decide to ban it out, and they're going for the Gully Wash first pick instead. Explain to me, who has the answers here? Bum, Eemes, who, why?
I think TF2Easy have very strong modes on this map. Certainly, they're kind of known for it. They've done it with different iterations of the team, but they go very, very fast over point. Nasboy, both solids go fast. Maybe sometimes Nubby goes drop, and Sil or Josh, whoever it is, high bombs into the elbow. They run Gazzy into the demo as well, and then Nasboy just runs over. They've done this for a very long time, and their timing is so good on it that they're really really stomp people with that particular mid. So I think they're probably going to be feeling confident with that. Sometimes you just don't feel like playing a map. I think I'm not in their heads, and I haven't spoken to them, so I don't know why they banned Process, but maybe they just weren't feeling it.
What a diplomatic answer. Bum. Process, usually the most common and favoured map in modern TF2, but Gully Wash actually being picked here and Process being banned out. Does that mean is the tide turning into players not like Process anymore, or is this just a weird one-time thing?
There's a very recent process meta going on, kind of, I think, pioneered by Witness, but I could be wrong here, where you have both of your soldiers go very, very fast, and your demo go incredibly fast, and you are basically just 3-man focusing the enemy demo at the start of mid. And what that causes to happen is the enemy demo either has to not come into middle at all, basically just wait it out, and at that point you're giving up so much ground and early presence to the other team, or the other way to counter it is you make your team do the exact same thing, and you have basically 6 players going fast, doing psycho plays over the top of the point. And I guess TF2Easy did ban Process, yeah, so that makes sense, because that has been just such a difficult thing to counter that Witness have been doing for the last couple of seasons, and I suppose TF2Easy just aren't confident playing against it. It might be something else entirely that's not related to that. We don't really know why they've banned it out, but yeah, we're into Gully Wash up next, so it should be exciting.
Eames, talk to me a little bit about from the team perspective of picking and banning maps. Do you have a set list that you just kind of want to cover in your sort of strategy, or what is the reasons why you would want to ban a map or keep a map?
Well, you ban your worst map and you pick, and you ban a map that is, both your worst and the map that you think the enemy is best on. So it's roughly that. I do think, though, just going back to that previous map and how they're going to be feeling after it is quite crucial, I think, because really, I was saying in the, before the Golden Cap that the TF2Easy, they were not doing so well in the stalemates most of the time. And that was true up until that point, but they've really started working it out. Still going spy, still often pushing Demo on the flank when he even had the banner and trading with him, and that was working for him, multiple times as we mentioned. But I think that's really going to put a lot of spring in their step for this particular map, because they're, generally how it goes between these two teams is that TF2Easy like the DM fights, but then less good in the set plays. But in fact, that has flipped, and that's going to really make them feel very confident in either situation now.
Bum, is it a common sight that we see usually the first seed losing that first map here, and are they managed to keep them composure, or do you have it where the winning team that wins all the time, and when you finally see them lose, you see them crack?
It's I mean, it's definitely not common. If I was just about to bring this point up, is that despite us saying how close these teams are, if you had to look in the grand scheme of things, anyone is taking Witness Gaming, and it's so exciting to see TF2Easy actually in the lead so early. Witness, in whatever form they've been in, whether it's Fortoast or Ascent, ever since I-65, the last LAN we had pre-COVID, 3 years ago at this point, they have been the dominant team all throughout this era. But in the last year or so, you know, Nerd Rage / TF2Easy have been on the come up, and it's so exciting to see them in the lead. I don't think even before this match started, anyone would expect them to be winning it. I think they'd expect it to be close, but Witness Gaming take it overall. And now it's just so exciting to see this underdog story, the completion of the TF2Easy arc. If they can get on top of Prem and really kind of secure their place as the best team of the online era before we hopefully, fingers crossed, get LAN again this summer, that would be just a blessing to see.
Eames, I hope you like making enemies, because I'm going to make you pick somebody out of everybody here. Who's dropping the ball? I want to know, I want names, Eames. Who could do with just stepping up just that little extra gear?
Well, you know, at this level, it all comes down to the very fine details, and this mistake by Lucas and kind of Domo as well was a big one that they made twice. So, you know, he needs to not get caught out in the stalemates.
I love it. All right, gentlemen, we're going into our second map. It is our sort of second set of our marathon. We are going straight into it. No more stinky fast rollouts are going to pester Nasboy as, okay, maybe he's a little late for this going into this second, but it doesn't really matter too much, as this will be our second map. Gully Wash, we're seeing already these soldiers kind of being pushed back on the back foot for poor little Witness Gaming EU. They will get cleaned up. Nobody manages to get back successfully, however, and will get like a sort of fresh arrow, bringing him back into the fight. And this is the sort of mid you want to see from the team that picks this map.
Yeah, you were saying about Nasboy's not going to be getting fast people on his face anymore, but instead it was the complete opposite. Nubby was on Lucas's face within the first 3 seconds of the mid, locked him out of mid, and then they get picks all over the place elsewhere on the mid, and just really basically kept Witness out of the mid before they could even get into it. Really, really dominant showing from TF2Easy at the start. Nice little funny reflect kill onto Nubby will slow them down, but they've still got them pinned on last. This is a great start for TF2Easy.
Now, Gully Wash, an infamous last point bum. I've spent more than a fair share of minutes on this last point. Is there any sort of like cheat sheet, any way to like get past this thing on last? Lucas is even running the loose cannon. Is this last just truly unbreakable?
This is one of the most interesting lasts we've got in the map pool at the moment, I think. Obviously, the sentry meta has kind of started on this map and expanded to every map where you just always need a sentry up to keep those sacks from coming in. But looks like Nasboy is just taking it down so easily, and this opens up a lot of opportunity for soldier jumps to come in, but losing 2 scouts is not going to be the opportunity to do it, and that's going to be, in fact, everyone in TF2Easy backing out to second. They've got to keep this one locked down, keep auto safe.
This is why you don't really see too many sentry guns spammed. It takes a lot of resources. You kind of concentrate on everybody. Is somebody going for the back cam and nobody notices? Oh my god, Nubby, the hero with the pain train, manages to weasel his way behind. I have hacks here, bum, and I still didn't see him.
Yeah, we're literally floating above the map with X-ray on. I don't even know where Nubby came from, and he gets pain train value already against 6 players alive from Witness Gaming. That melee is just so good, doubling your cap speed and able to take those caps in situations where you usually wouldn't. Huge one from Nubby to get the ball rolling. Tomas going down early on this mid. Demul in with a sack, does get his way onto auto, but loses his life for it. We're in a 4v3 now, and Domo has got out alive. Morale could chase him down, though. He's in behind on Domo here. The 1v1 in the lobby.
What the? Did Domo take the fight against Moralexi? What? I thought he would reconnect with his players there, and they were all in that base, but he just really wanted to go inside? Okay.
I don't know, man, but whatever happens, TF2Easy They end out on top. They end up with 20% Uber advantage before Domo's even spawned. It's going to be about 30% by the time he gets up. And a Demo Man down. This should be an easy second push without those stickies just laying huge damage onto the choke points. Here they are into second already. They force both of the soldiers out, and Witness Gaming turn their tails and flee, but Nubby's behind, ready to catch them. Takes down Lucas once again. No Demo Man on last, and the Uber advantage. They're going to roll this one through straight away. They want to get in before the sentry is up, if at all possible. They take down Pappy. Nasboy's going to lose his life for it, but they've already put 2 people in water under the point. Gazzy and Nubby going to play this one any second now. In fact, they do just turn around.
What the hell is this Crown Fiesta of a video game going on right now? Everyone went from the highest class of TF2 to completely beefing everything. Everyone's just like sneaking past each other. People are trying to awkwardly chase each other at like lower speeds. And people are just dying randomly when they have this huge advantage. What just happened in 2 minutes of TF2?
Yeah, I mean, TF2Easy were trying too many things at once, it looked like. They're getting under the point and peeking doors without wanting to use the Uber because they didn't quite have it up yet. You've either got to commit to just going before Lucas spawns, or you've got to commit to securing that Uber charge advantage and going with that instead. It kind of looked like they were half and half, trying to get the best of both worlds, and they got, well, not the worst of both worlds, but they got nothing.
Lucas running that loose cannon. I'm sure Kado is more than happy right now, as it's just a disgusting weapon to deal with on last. Remind me, Bud, is it just the one that knocks you back?
Yeah, knocks you back. If it detonates inside someone, it does a crazy amount of damage, flings you in a random direction, and it's really good in maps like these where you're kind of a medium to short distance away. Nubby under the point again as well, by the way, I think is unchecked.
Oh,
Times 2 on the point. Times 2 on the point.
Oh, they're trying to throw the pyro on there as well, but oh, that is a lot of players and a lot of panic instilled into them, and it's not their only sort of panic button they have. There's a scout under point, Bum.
Yeah, Gaz biding his time. Demo is desperate to stand on top of this to make it regress. Pappy's going to flush him out from the other side, and now it's a 2v1 for Gazzy. Not going to be winning that one, no matter how good you are at Scout. And he does get taken down. There's not much opportunity for a push, though, with a Pyro Sentry Gun. Everyone still on last, but yeah, as I was about to say before Nubby did crazy stuff, at these medium ranges, the loose cannon is really good, because the kind of range you're just generally shooting at is the range it's going to be detonating by itself anyway, so you can hit those double donks really, really easily just by spamming.
I'm tempted to make the teleporter joke, but I'm not gonna. Don't worry, chat, I'm not going to. Alright, so it's just a bit weird. Like, after what seems to be a very quiet period in TF2's life, the unlocks are kind of coming back here. You're seeing a lot more like banners. You're seeing a lot more just unlocks kind of being tested and tried at different points. I mean, we've even seen Spy just kind of being run all the way from last to mid in our last little golden cap charade. It's just a very creative time for TF2, Bo.
Well, I don't know. Spy is kind of always a staple of we've got to try something and make a play. The loose cannon, I think this is the first time I've seen it in a very long time. That's definitely Cadus theory kind of molding Lucas here. But yeah, Pyro and Engineer also has become staple over the last year or 2 years. Just keeping that sentry to shut down any sack attempts is so worthwhile. Pappy gets taken down here. If they kill Demo, this is a round. Oh god, he goes down so low, and they're just running everyone in onto the point. Just pure desperation to get onto the cap there. And this is really the kind of gameplay that the sentry forces. Everyone plays so much around water now. It's all about trying to get people onto the point, kind of put your stickies on it if you're attacking as well to stop the defenders from blocking the point. Everything is so hyper-focused around the point itself, because there's just no chance you're getting onto the medic with a pyro and a sentry gun up. You have to focus on something else instead, and people have chosen to go for cap time.
Yeah, things were maybe a little bit more coordinated, but a lot of things happened there. I think not only did they get a Pappy kill, but Lucas fell down, so you had the core members trying to go for the easy demo man kill. Well, I wouldn't say it's easy, but still an opportunity. But all that was going on with Demol, and he was brought down low and all this, and they were just spread a bit thin here over on TF2Easy, but it's fine. They haven't lost their chokehold, and it's that ×2 cap again, and he actually gets it. He actually gets it. How do you let that happen after seeing it not only win a round, but happen like 3 times while you're defending last?
That was incredible. Nubby, this is like exactly what teams try and do. They get someone on the point and it causes a distraction for another kind of play. And Nubby, getting on the point, forced everyone to turn around. They ran into Morale's sightline and he just drops the medic they can't use to block it. And they win that round. Demol instantly throwing his life away on this second mid. 3 picks down, in fact, at the start, but they do claw 2 back very quickly. Classy on the low ground, gonna get taken out by Gaz, and Auto needs to be careful here. There's 2 players right in front of him. His team do call for him to get out, it looks like, as Lucas, last man standing. TF2Easy are running over this map, Turbo. They have all the advantages in the world on their side right now. This could be a 3rd round very, very soon, and we could be seeing the underdogs taking a 2-0 lead right at the start of this best of 5.
You've got to wonder how much of the tilt factors kind of seeping into a team like this. Not only to lose the first round, but lose the second round in a fashion like that. How can you concentrate on a mid? And I mean, we can only theorize as they will lose out that mid. They will have an Uber advantage. It should be some textbooks being pulled out here when it comes to this Uber push going into a Gully Wash last. Nubby will be the one to lead the charge. He goes for the 2 times cap, and they are completely cap centric in all their efforts here. They've put a pyro on the point. They even try and get just anybody on there, but there's just too much point pressure. It all goes to a 3rd round.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they were wasting their entire Uber on the point there, but in the end, they get so much cumulative time, it just caps up in the end. No one able to block it. That sentry gun got completely ignored for the entire fight. Just everyone on the cap for TF2Easy, and they're immediately 3-0 up in this game, 10 minutes into it. Huge double sack landing on enemy big door. Sill's going to take down a kill as the rebomb comes in from the ground, but both soldiers down for both teams, and the positioning really is mostly in Witness Gaming's favor. Gaz is kind of caught in behind enemy lines, and he's just going to turn his tail and run. So finally, Witness Gaming taking a midpoint here, but they have a hill to climb, Turbo.
That was one of the most mirrored matched mids I've seen in a long time. Both teams kind of going for the general same objectives on all these classes. The only difference there was, I think TF2Easy wanted to be the first one to kind of push across that point and deal with them, but they absorbed the attention quite well over on Witness Gaming. And obviously, when you go for that aggressive play, you usually end up dropping down and give up the ground. If your efforts haven't pulled off, then you've kind of lost the mid after that.
Oh, well, they've managed to get 2 people in behind here from Witness. They can pincer from both sides now. Demol and Classy.
They've got Gazzy looking behind, I think. So I guess if you can't get the flank, just take the base. If you can't get out.
Classy in behind the point, trying to see what he can get done. Does get shut down. I think they know Demol is behind as well. They are sending Gaz and Nubby back for him on a search and rescue mission. Morale has gone down, pushing the front in the meantime. And that's a scout down for either side. Witness using this opportunity to pressure the big door. They've actually got so much space, they just use off on Domo, but look how far Auto is. Auto is in no trouble whatsoever, could just hold on to this, does use off in the end, goes down to 60 health from that Thomas damage. But they get 2 frags from baiting in that Uber so deep, and they get all the way into mid. Lucas could be a pick here, does manage to get juggled out just in the nick of time. So TF2Easy once again in control. They just look so good at Gully so far.
Yeah, could have gone a lot worse there for Witness Gaming, like all things said and done. But they do get the force out, and they do manage to get out. And yeah, it was just kind of giving up mid at this point. They keep both of the medics alive on both of these teams, so it's just kind of a little seesaw action. But now it's TF2's Easy's turn to maybe go for a very ambitious Uber and start peeling back.
Yeah, TF2Easy are just happy with anything at this point. I mean, you're 3-0 up so early in the game. I mean, at this point, you can think about running the clock down. I don't think they're going to for at least another 10 minutes or so. Still in with a sack instead. Gets shot sky high. Someone hit it. Ah, Scouts ruining our fun.
It looked close. It looked very close. They're one of those, thread
Oh,
the
there's a sack
needles.
from under. Demo already came up, drop down, lands directly on Nasboy's head, and with the demo man down, this is some opportunity for some movement to start happening. Witness able to bust the choke after this one.
But Nubby, he rotates round and starts spamming that choke because they know it's the one door they want to start getting in. They pop the Uber. That's how much they want to hold onto this mid here, but it could be ill-advised. They are without a demo man, and with a quick head count, they will actually back everybody out there. I don't know what they were trying to pull off in that Uber there, Bum.
Yeah, that's the kind of Uber you use when you want to just waste 8 seconds to get your spawners up in time, but they had too much of a disadvantage for that to even be possible. Everyone was just going to get in, whether or not the Uber was up. So they made the right call in kind of escaping, calling it off before they lost anyone else. Classy is in behind once again, up in river, and jumping around lobby, seeing if he can cause any mayhem. Ooh, he spotted Nasboy for a second. That could have been one of the Thomas-esque run at the demo man and two-shot him plays that we saw last map.
Yeah, it's. I'm honestly surprised that it was reserved as they're playing. If I popped off like that, I would think I was a god of TF2 and just start doing whatever the hell I want.
Well, they are.
He just keeps getting peppered. All attention on this poor demo man, and he's doing a good job of just dodging all the flames and fire. But Classy, he's getting behind.
Yeah, he's still just kind of wasting time peppering Nubby from up top, wants to steal this pack away or something. But I'm not really sure what their end game is. Like, they've had Classy behind for such a long time now. He keeps peeking that shutter, but doesn't really do anything whenever he does. He is now running in, but he just gets caught behind the point. Does manage to 1v1 Gaz.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. There was a lot of eyeballs on him for a second, but they just kind of trusted that Gazi had him under control there. But, quick couple of shots, and Nasboy, he's taunting. Okay. Well, so both teams obviously just coming up a bit fluff in this little exchange, just waiting for things to just kind of solidify or happen here. Let's see who comes up with the play.
Classy's on Sniper, which is his play. Gaz is on Spy, but he's not going to commit to Spy. He is just checking these disguises, checking if anyone is on a different class, and he'll already know, before they've even seen Classy, that he's running Sniper now because of that. So Demul is in behind, chasing Gaz up top to River.
I did see Gazi was running the dead ringer there, and I thought, God, that would have been... I don't even know what you do with that weapon at this point, but it could just all come down to whether or not Classy can get this snipe, but the geometry in this map is just so difficult. Can't really get a snipe in. Everything's just tripping him.
Yeah, Auto's playing in the absolute anti-sniper spot right in this corner. The thing about it is, when you're this cornered, the demo man spam or a soldier just skip jumping directly into your face could be a bit dangerous when you're stuck in a corner as confined as this, but he's got his team backing him up, helping him keep that Lucas spam off him, keep any soldiers at bay. And Classy still just trying to find this angle from lower. Actually goes all the way into lobby. If he peeks from this shutter, that could be a play. He's getting his scout to clear the stickies for him. He does get an angle, doesn't hit the shot. He's going for a second, but still he's going to get chased down now by Gazi, finally putting an end to that. That was so dangerous, and TF2easy do keep it under control. They find Demul as well, and this is an opportunity to get into mid.
It's a scary sort of position to be in if you're TF2easy, because you give out your only exit way as well when you give up the base like that, and you have to put a lot of utmost confidence in your defense, but they hold the composure here. They do pepper out and clean out that base, but they're going back for a reset, and this is fine. TF2easy 3 rounds up. It's all up to Witness Gaming EU to make things happen, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about how quickly TF2easy got all of their rounds, and in about the same amount of time Witness Gaming are just hitting their head against the wall, unable to get one, they really need to change something up here. It hasn't been working getting people behind in lobby. They haven't really just attempted a straight up sack because it's not worth even trying on this map. It's way too difficult with only 2 doors to get through and both of them being locked down so well. They really seem to be running out of options. They put in Classy behind again, but they've got this step 1 down to a T, obviously, but what's their step 2 after this? After Classy's behind here, how are they going to turn it into a play?
I don't know. I wonder if they've got any TF2 jumpers on the team, because you know the only sort of opening I could see is maybe trying to skip jump through choke and just get on top of the medics that way. But they're going to just push out slowly from the big door instead, and they do get a kind of mirrored match Uber charge happening at the same time, and it's up to Thomas to try and kind of multi that Uber for TF2Easy and just make them want to switch to as many targets possible. When the dust settles though, after all the Ubers have been accounted for, it looks like you do have Witness Gaming winning out the bout. They get every single pick. This should be an easy convert to last, because no setups are kind of made for. And Agazi even came back as Pyro. Not really much a useful class when he has scouts to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, they completely answered my question. What's step 2? They just bust 3 people through big door. Classy comes in through shutter, and TF2Easy just give so much respect, give all the space up, and they back up so far that the Uber trade really works out brilliantly for Witness Gaming. They're just able to take that 6-man wipe and instantly convert it on last, of course. So Witness back in the game now. 10 minutes to solidify this map though, as we do come into the 5th mid fight. Still going to be the first one to go down. Morale falling as well. Nubby on the low ground does jump up, gets a nice shot to finish off Classy, but at the end of the day, Domo's going to stay alive.
Does Pappy have the Solemn Vow? I swear he knows who's low and just like, you know, finishes them off with a rocket each time. He doesn't, I don't think I've seen him shoot more than 2 shots at anybody. Just peppers them and kills them.
It's all game sense, brother. It's where the main calling brain comes in.
Smart man Pappy. He could choose to lead his team, but into this last, but they've got an Uber charge. I don't think he wants to do that.
We've got a spy from Classy as well. This is going to be interesting. Gun's been spammed down already. Classy getting into position up near the medic here.
Okay, that is optimistic to decloak from. I'm not sure if you and I or the chat knows, but that sound of that invisible watch makes a hell of a loud sound when you decloak. Okay, Nasboy didn't hear it. Yeah, Nasboy didn't hear it. He actually gets him. Is that the eternal reward as well? Good God, these players just like playing pubs.
Well, they've whittled down this defense. No sentry, no demo, and no soldier, as they do trade 1 for 1. Nubby and Pappy on the point. Classy's still alive though, and there's
he picked up the health pack and he's not on fire anymore. But now he's just 31 HP. If he gets the stab on Nasboy again, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, he's been bumped into by Gaz.
Oh, dodging! Oh, he's dead! Oh my God!
Well, that'll do.
Yeah, you don't see that scene out of the Matrix, do you? Where you dodge all the bullets and then the flamethrower comes in.
Well, Nubby's been caught off getting a bit too big for his boots in lobby, so once Classy spawns...
the sentry gun's gone as well, because it's only a level 1. They've switched it out.
And Demo's under the point. Morale has to play on the point, but Thomas is just... Oh no! That was meant to be an Uber! That's terrible!
Wait,
Domo that was meant to be an Uber.
That was an Uber.
Toe was too far ahead. Domo couldn't flash him. Toe just insta-gibs to a heavy, and the Uber gets completely wasted. This is dangerous now.
What's even worse is they've bought a heavy weapons guy. They were going to Uber in and go for the repush. What's this heavy weapons guy going to do now? He's slowly coming around the corner. Nubby's all the way back, though. He's just getting edged out by 2 soldiers, and just, grand affair just fell apart before our eyes here, Bum.
Yeah, a big mistake from Witness opens up more opportunities for TF2Easy. 2 players down. They are just trying to peek, see if they can get anything done. They have an Uber charge advantage, but with a demo down, it's so difficult because you can't make up all this ground. You want to be using on your demo and scout in the Uber to make up as much ground as possible. Demo jumps forward, scout runs your Uber to catch up to him. But without that, it's just going to be tricky. Everyone's going to be able to avoid you really easily. So instead, they play it safe, get back to last.
Oh no, we've seen this before, and Nubby's waiting for them. He's like, I know you want to cap this point. I know after doing this 3 times, I plan nothing but to have the defense be like this. As they've got Lucas running the lock-in load here. It's just a bonanza of unlocks in this grand final, as I guess this is the anti-sentry gun weapon.
Yeah, And it's also just a weapon we've been seeing more and more use out of lately, ever since the Iron Bomber got fixed. Obviously, if you didn't know, it had a bugged hitbox, was way easier to hit before, but we do run a plugin to fix that weapon, seeing as Valve is never going to update it to fix it.
Classy. He's fighting in water. Will go down to Nubby, who just seems to be king of the cap, as they don't want to give them any sort of reason. And Lucas is just hoping to just get a nice string of 2 pipes and pick somebody off here with the lock and load.
And again, Demul into water. We're just seeing so many people fixated on the point. Even though there's no sentry gun up right now, they've got a heavy up instead. The manual sentry gun will do, as Lucas attempts to jump here, but it's just not going to work out with Morale shooting him down. Here comes the sack, instantly reflected away by Demul and mowed down by Morale as well.
We noticed, Bum, they've not actually rebuilding that sentry gun. They're just going to defer against it. No 7th member of TF2Easy to be accounted for.
Yeah, I mean, ideally they want it up, but now that it's gone down, Witness Gaming are giving them no time to build it at all. It would just get spammed down instantly, so running Morale on heavy is just as good. Still goes for a sack, but doesn't get anything. And we see Thomas on Sniper in main as well, looking for an angle.
Well, I guess the beauty of having all these sort of moving, active players is somebody's going to spot that sniper, and especially because shots just ringed off. A headshot to Nubby into water. It's a very, very good thing that Nubby got the kill onto Classy before he died there.
Yeah, delicious shot from Nubby to make that a trade rather than just a free pick. But that's pretty much the exact play that we saw.
Cylinders. He got a headshot on Salentes, but he's just got such a buff that he doesn't go down. Pappy gets Nasboy. That's a big pick. That's a big pick. But, Thomas will go down. And I was going to say, it's a bit difficult pushing without Sniper, and now it's difficult pushing without a player. So they will get Demul on last. But I'm not sure if he was running the pain train there. I think he was, and does kind of bring a bit of pressure onto the point. They try and come out of every other doorway on Witness Gaming, but I think they're wise to it, and they have them all controlled and isolated.
TF2Easy are just so much more aware of the point than their counterparts. They've not been giving up any leeway to people who are getting into water and trying to make those plays, whereas Witness made that mistake many a time as the bomb comes in.
Domo, he really wanted to save his buddy Thomas in the corner there. He ends up dive bombing towards him and has to force out his Uber. Ubers have been exchanged from both of these teams, but somehow it baits the rest of TF2Easy to commit onto second. They awkwardly get back to last, but get mowed down in the process of this. Either Domo's the smartest TF2 player I've ever seen, or that was just a lucky state of affairs.
Yeah, Domo just had to use to not die to a sink bomb that was about to land on his head there. And outside of the trade, all the kills went the way of Witness Gaming. And by Domo being so close to the door, he was able to run into lobby, force everyone back to last, and eventually just win the fight there. There's 3 minutes for Witness to come back. They need to get around within 3 minutes, and they're doing just that, as Auto is the first one to die on the mid-fight. Thomas will fall for the other side, but if they can keep their medic alive, they might be able to turn this around for Witness Gaming, but they're looking to fight it instead, and Syl is doing huge damage, but doesn't follow up on the kills.
Classy has just got a radar UAV online, and he's just trying to find the leftover remnants of this TF2Easy team and just claim the easy log kills. Nubby is unaccounted for. There we go. Now he gets cleaned up. That was a lot of kills for the class.
This is going to be devastating for TF2Easy if they do lose this one. A nice trap on the lockers from Nasboy, but it's going to be a dangerous one. 100% advantage for Domo. They could turn this around instantly as the bomb does come in. Sentry gun down already. Demo man down already. Thomas kills Nubby as well. Thomas on the point ×2. No one's blocking it. No one's blocking it. There we go. 3-3. We could be seeing another golden cap, or we could see someone seal this out in the next 2 minutes. We need a fast round from either team to take this map down.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy I told you so, but oh my god. Gazzy, stop going as Pyro in those last seconds. I think you would have actually blocked the point there if you went to Scout. And it's a couple of times now he's just been defeated in these Scout matchups because he's just the flaming man. Alright, we're going to another mid. and the mids have been kind of, an even affair between both of the teams. Everything's been even so far. Pappy is on top, and Nasboy, and with the Demoman taken out the equation, Lucas should have a lot more fair share. They even get auto as well. But they have lost the scouts, the soldiers, and I like demo men, I like medics, but I don't like them on their own. They're all crawling all over Lucas. There's a scout coming in from behind. Ghazi is already at last. He's meeting Domo. He's pushed him into the sky and now into the respawn.
Damn, did you mean meeting as in meeting him or hitting the meat shots on him? Because that was a nice two-shot instantly, and they even get classy on the respawn, trying to get a little bit cocky, running ahead of himself. And now 1 minute left, they're going to have a big Ubercharge advantage. They're going to have second for free. Can they convert this? Can they make this 2-0 in regular time, get both these maps on the board, and force a reverse sweep out of Witness to stay alive? They're on defensive Kritzkrieg for Witness with 51 seconds left.
It's 1 minute left. Thomas is really just busted out this level 2 sentry as quick as he can, and he's moving it now. I'm so glad that they haven't pushed in just yet, because that's happened too many times on Granary for it to happen again on Gully Wash. They pop in nice and early. They have a pyro to deal with at the choke wave. Classy will go down. They're going straight for the point play again. The Sticky's on point, however, to deal with it this time. Solentes will be the one to follow up that point pressure. There's a lot of grinding on this last point, and it will be a blue one.
This is not what I expected from this grand final. TF2Easy taking the lead 2-0. The second seed coming into the grand final. Witness, undoubtedly the best team of the online era ever since I-65, ever since Seven quit the game. They have been the team to beat, and TF2Easy are about to do just that. They've taken the first two maps, their own map pick and the enemy map pick, to get us off to a 2-0 start. What a beautiful last push to do it as well. 6 men alive at the end of it. This is so exciting. Such close games as well. And I just hope we get to see this go to 5 maps. I want to see Witness Gaming get back into it at this point.
I'm glad you touched upon that. Like, don't go anywhere, Twitch chat. I know what you're thinking. Oh, there's going to be a best of 3. No, this is a best of 5, motherfucker. We are going straight into a long bout. And if the matches follow the entire kind of story of this best of 5, I think they're not out for the count here yet on Witness Gaming EU. But Eames, talk to me about this Gully Wash. There must be something on your mind.
There are so many things, Turbo. But yeah, that was a really scrappy map. Very, you maybe you see one back cap in a grand final like this, but 2. And the second one that Nubby got, they were 6 alive. That should never, ever have happened. And you can even think, so this was 2-0 at that point, and they're thinking, how the hell did that happen? How did we lose that round? And they're talking about that on the way to mid, almost certainly. They're annoyed. Maybe someone's just a bit upset, whatever, and then they lose that mid hard, and then they lose another round. So they basically start the map 3-0 down. So this was really, really tough for Witness. Credit to them, they did make their way back into the game extremely well. It was looking, there was 3-0 and they had mid for a very long stalemate, but finally they noticed that Nasboy was really not holding the choke at all there. And they kind of just walked in, took a load of space, took a much better trade, and then got the round. And for that, on their long climb back up the mountain, they had a headwind really because they had so little time. But nevertheless, it was hard for them, but they managed to make it mostly because, if I have to say, Nasboy was feeding. He really, in this stalemate, firstly, he let them in, which was bad, which meant when it was 3-1. But on this last, I think he died 4 or 5 times in about 5 minutes on last stalemates, and finally they got another opportunity. He had a kind of a questionable mid, and he even died on the last push right before the end. So that was looking, I was about to tell you all how Nasboy had kind of thrown the whole game away, but then finally at the end they had a much better mid, TF2Easy coming in, and it was also almost looking really, really good for Witness, I have to say, but Domo just couldn't quite live. Lucas not reloading stickies and choke, just trying to kill with a lock and load, and manages to get caught. Domo dying as well really late, and then that final last push that was just extremely clean. TF2Easy recognizing they had the advantage. So it was really, up and down game. Witness looked like they were really getting back into it, but then finally they just couldn't convert on that last mid, and credit to TF2Easy for, they almost looked like they were going to be choking that away, but they pulled it out right at the end there.
Bum. The first map was just a game of plays. This second map felt like a game of beefs. Is there a particular beef or just something that stuck out in your mind? You're like, oh, good God.
This second map has been a game of looking at the last point and TF2Easy being way, way better at understanding how to abuse it. They've been putting people under pretty much consistently, and Witness Gaming weren't looking out for it. They were having follow-up plays to putting people under as well. You want to draw the eyes to the point and then have something else happen, ideally. It doesn't really work if you just put someone on the point and they instantly get taken down and you're like, oh, well, at least we capped the point to 50%, guys. They had that sniper to take down Dom to stop the point being blocked with the Uber. Stuff like this, just really nice lasts from tf2easy. And I think Mental might come into this final a little bit now, because, to be completely honest, Witness aren't used to losing. Witness don't lose. Witness have been easy favorites in every single season they've played. This is the first time where they're really, like, down and up against the wall, especially in a grand final.
Yeah, definitely. And you always got to think, I mean, I've been in this situation multiple times myself, but you're down 2 maps, and sometimes people are just like, how can we get back into this? I've got to play, if I'm going to win this, I'm going to be playing for another 2.5 hours at least. You know, I'm going to be tired. I have to keep my concentration the whole time. How are we going to, you kind of just want it to be over in a way. Just a small part of you thinks, you know, we've already lost 2, let's just get it over with. And you can't really help thinking that at this point. And it's, you know, it's really bad. This is why you always want to, you know, it's so important getting that psychological barrier of the first map. And it was looking like it was going to be 1-1 here. So a really, you know, really back and forth final. But no, 2-2. This is absolutely crucial for TF2Easy, because they had very nice mids on this map, but other than that, they weren't playing too well, except for Nubby and his 2 absolutely crucial backcaps. So he definitely gets my MVP for this map. You know, just abusing that pain train, and not only, you know, he was getting the rounds. We saw on Granary, it was extremely back and forth. Every round was really, really hard fought. They had to make some kind of crazy play, you know, usually some kind of trade on second and then converting the last push. But it was really, really difficult to get one. Whereas Nubby just started it off right away with 2 quick rounds, and that's really gonna, you know, Witness, credit to them, they climb back, but they really put them behind in the mental, and it's going to be even more heartbreaking for them now, having come all the way back from 3 rounds down and then just throwing it away at the end.
Although every cloud, this is Snakewater up next, and this is one of the maps that these 2 teams already played against each other earlier in the season, and obviously Witness came out on top. They won this one 3-1, so we've got to hope that they can replicate that, but it does look like TF2Easy have put in their homework on both these other maps so far. So I would not be comfortable by any means if I'm Witness Gaming coming into this one.
All right, Eames, you're one of these teams where if you beat somebody in the regular season, then you meet up with them in that playoff, and they decide to pick the map, or just the map that gets picked that you played in the season that you won comes out again. Are you feeling confident because you won that season map, or are you scared because you know they've learned from that map?
I think often you're feeling a little bit scared, because it always gives you a great opportunity when you lose a map, but especially if it's kind of close, you can go to the demo, see where do we lose, what do they do in certain situations that we couldn't win against, and how do we counter it. So you're going to not only have some of your own plays to do, but you have, you know, certain things that the enemy team is going to be expecting to do, and maybe, you know, Pappy thinks it's going to work. They did something through Saw this time, and last time it's been very good for them. But no, they've map talked it. They don't even have to, you know, react in the moment. They've already got a plan to react to it, and that's how, you know, deadly they can be if Witness Gaming are doing the, you know, repeating tired old plays. So it's actually going to be, you know, not a huge advantage necessarily that they won, you know, only 3-1 as well. So it was a pretty close game, and you know, it gives lots of opportunities to. Granted, I don't know if they have done this TF2Easy, but they are, you know, they're a very keen team. So I'm expecting them to have some new tricks up their sleeve for this one.
Bum, if you were on the side of Witness Gaming, which of these 2 maps feel like just more of a hard hitter? The one that, like, the really good one on Granary, where it was just so close and the game down to Golden Cap, or are you more stung by that previous Gully Wash map?
I mean, it's hard to say. I think Witness first picking Granary and going ahead to lose it in such a tragic fashion would absolutely hurt. That's gonna sting. But I'm gonna say the Granary one hurts more. I think being 3-0 down in Gully Wash, even though you've brought it back and lost it in the end, I think at least you're bringing it back. At least you're making it close. There's every opportunity you just get 5-0'd there and you completely check out. But they know they're still alive. They know that it was good of them to even bring it back to that point, and they know that it was a map chosen by TF2Easy and that they were dominant on it at the start. They understand that it was good of them to bring it that far, I suppose. So Obviously, both of them hurt for losing so close, but I think they're going to be fine with it, realistically. I think they favor themselves coming into Snakewater.
All right, we don't live in the past here over on Team Fortress TV. We live in the present, and the present we are bringing you is our grand final of Season 41. It is potentially our final match point here, unless witnessgaming.eu have something to say about it as they're playing against TF2Easy. Let's see if they make an easy time of this grand final. Best of 5. Solentes, pie in the sky, right on top of Domo. Domo's doing a wonderful dodge time of trying to dodge everything, but Gazzy will follow up not just 1 kill, not just 2 kills, but 3 kills. And he's trying to smell and find Classy, who's hiding in this top area, not merely a scratch upon him. And Demol, he's cut off the exit way, but they don't want to exit here over on TF2Easy.
Yeah, Demol's just got to go back in spawn camp, kind of delay and cause chaos. He's not going to get through those 4 players on mid. He hits a nice upwards direct onto Morale. Could follow up this kill here, but he is going to get taken down. The double jump too strong for dodging those rockets. And at the end of the day, TF2Easy come out on top on mid. Nubby in behind as well. I have no idea whether or not they know he's here. He could go for a jump on Domo right now. Domo's right in front of him. He's beefed the first rocket though, jumping in. Does get that first one now and does connect the second as Domo goes down instantly. TF2Easy now just need to keep Auto alive and they might have an easy first round. Tomas gonna fall as well. Only Demol left alive once again in lower. Nothing he can do against 6 players. Gonna get flushed out. And TF2Easy make it easy. 1-0 in 2 minutes.
Aye, someone must have a hot date tonight because they just playing the speed run of TF2 Grand Final, trying to close this out as quickly as possible. And I've expected nothing less from TF2Easy. They're a quick, fast, sort of just aggressive team, and they've shown it here in our first round of Snakewater. But they're going to shake it off here on Witness Gaming. They, the beginner's luck as we're going into our second mid, and they are a team of adaptation. As so far on this mid, I don't see any pies in the sky, so I think both teams are actually feeling each other out. Oh, no, excuse me, Solentes, pardon me, as he does try to get on top of Domo. Doesn't quite die this time though. Gazzy doesn't need, it seems though, for the medic to go down. He brings out enough pressure in his own presence, and when the dust settles in the first initial skirmish, it's just 2 scouts compared to the 1 of Witness Gaming, so they will give up that mid.
These soldier bombs have been so successful from TF2Easy on both mids. Neither time are they actually getting the kills, but they're turning so many heads, forcing so many people to hold S, that the scouts and demo running across the point from TF2Easy to follow up, they are just having no one look at them. They are able to run rampant and do 1,000,000 damage to everyone on Witness, get all those kills, even though the soldiers themselves aren't getting any. It's the soldiers who are making all the space, and Sil does go for an attempt there, but unable to find anything.
With a soldier down, that is a license for somebody to die here over on Witness Gaming. Who's going to be nominated? It will be Demol, as he will go down to the trap, trying to enter in from the saw area. I think he was going for a skip jump there, but just straight to the respawn queue. But could maybe see some off-classing here, as we've seen it before. I'll pretend I didn't see that, Nubby. It's fine. The map it can get awkward to jump off.
Yeah, sometimes you're just gonna see 2 scouts in front of you and that'll happen. But this gives Classy an opportunity. He's all the way behind right now, and they can kind of sandwich from both sides. Pappy goes down, so Classy aborts that plan, just wants to stay alive behind for a little longer.
Nubby switches off the sniper for a hot second to see if he can snipe Classy, but we'll get cleaned up by Moralexi instead. So with everybody accounted for in the red side, and they will try and push in from grass over on TF2Easy. But there could be some traps. I don't think there is. Lucas is just kind of throwing stickies at them regular-like. And Nubby's kind of in behind. And I swear this guy must have an invisible hitbox as well as Solentes, because they just managed to get into these nooks and crannies and force out Domo again.
Yeah, that was incredibly sad for Domo. Everyone took so much damage that they held S, got out of his sight, and then Domo took the damage. Domo pops off and everyone's behind him. He's unable to do anything with the Uber to salvage that. Demol got dropped from it as well, who was the one player who was planning to Uber. So He's just stood all by his lonesome, using an Uber on pretty much nothing, and now it's a full advantage for Auto. They're able to take this one nice and easy through grass. They're going to see the soldier coming from a mile away. Deemul does get instantly obliterated, and they've got all this space. Classy already with the sentry gun up on last because he knows what's coming next.
Alright, let's see what kind of defense they can cook up here. They've pushed in from lower. They're going to pop the Uber nice and early. Lucas maybe could go down. He will go down, and that's Demoman taken out of the equation for this defense. There's no even bodies to throw on this last point. It's a clean 2 rounds to start off with. This is very reminiscent of our Gully Wash map.
You will have just seen it out the corner of your eye. Nubby, with the fastest jump ever, literally gets onto the enemy spawn door instantly and kills Domo on 92%. So crucial to get that pick just before Domo gets his Uber up, and that makes the rest of the last push entirely trivial. So easy, and they do take that second round. Witness really needs to start getting back into this one, or it's going to be all over.
Solentes is trying to be controlled and isolated, will be cleaned up now, and they trade a couple of players apiece between both of these two teams, but the ground is just so much, well, more deserved here for Witness Gaming as they all push together as a blob, gobbling up what players are offered to them. And Nasboy is the next one on the offering plate, and they will have Pappy actually getting the kill onto him without a demo man. They might even keep sailing this to last to try and get the auto kill, but he's in his bunker and somebody has to cap mid.
Yeah, there was a breakdown of comms there from TF2Easy. Like, the demo and the medic leaving different ways means they can both get killed. They can both get 1v1 there very easily, and we saw it happen to Nasboy. It's just lucky the auto was not chased as hard as he could have been as well. And now TF2Easy trying to retake their own second as mid does finally get capped. They do get the picks onto Pappy and Tomas, and they have Nubby behind, forcing off Domo here. He does only get the force. Nasboy manages to survive as well after being in deep. But this is TF2Easy's ball. They get to play 100% advantage.
Seeing the ramifications of not capping that mid there, sure, they had a nice foothold in second, but there was so much time of 5v6 to happen for TF2Easy that kind of gave them opportunity to just peel back and just punish them. Plus, when you're capping that second point as well, you're on low ground by default, Bum.
Yeah, this is now still an advantage for TF2Easy. They're going to be trying to take this one through Saw. Morale gets gibbed before the Uber can be used, so they might even just slow this one down. They do manage to bait Deemul in, who's chasing for some reason. That's kind of unnecessary from him as Nubby goes in for a sack onto Dom, but doesn't manage to connect that second rocket.
I guess he predicted that they were still going to keep pushing in, even though they lost Moralexi during all that. I don't know what the motivation of that jump was there, but oh, Nasboy gets the pick onto Tomas, and I'm not sure if they wanted to Uber there, because you saw Domo kind of coming into the saw room with him.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get something done. It might have just been a surprise kind of trade play, but obviously the stickies put a stop to it, and now this is an opportunity once again to kind of peek around grass. Deemul kind of pre-fires a bomb over here just to try and keep them at bay.
Lucas! He's gone down, Lucas! He was so close to the health pack, but he ends up going down. They've even got Solentes on that battlements as well, and just cutting them off from just backing off into that sort of doorway. Ubers have been exchanged out, and they decided to just take the close-range fights, but the Blob versus Tomas will not win. This is not Granary.
Yeah, So getting taken down there at the end. He was just trying to get any kill he could, or try and get the force, and doesn't get either. TF2Easy really just exploded into second there. They were all over everything at once, really just panic forced Witness Gaming, and from there they were trying to scramble to get anything back under their control. But TF2Easy just played it slow and steady on grass, and now they maintain this advantage that they're about to use into last right now. Onto Morale straight away. Nasboy jumping the gun, does get juggled really hard. This isn't the best push to start off, but they do find Deemul. They're edging the corner of the point as well. The blocks are in, but there's so much damage on everyone from Witness Gaming, and here it comes. Round number 3 is on the board for TF2Easy.
They look completely different from the first map bomb. This looks like a team broken, or or TF2Easy activated. I don't know what to make of it.
I really hope we get to see more of what Witness Gaming are capable of. They have so much potential on this team. It's not even potential, it's been realized in the past. We've all seen it. We've seen how many seasons this team have won, and they are just incapable in this grand final right now.
It's like I'm watching the protagonist actually die on the TV screen. I refuse to believe it, and hopefully Witness Gaming refuse to believe it as well. But another striking blow of a mid coming down, crashing for Witness Gaming, just showing that they haven't lost foothold of these majority of mids. They do try and chase Pappy out, and he will get an equalizing kill onto Nubby. I mean, I call it equalizing. They've lost their entire team, but you know what I mean. Tomas will get the kill onto Nasboy. What's the boy doing there?
Yeah, a weird play from Nasboy. I guess he's getting ahead of himself, getting a bit of ego when you're 2 maps and 3 rounds up. But that's just going to give an opportunity for Witness Gaming here. You can't be making those kind of stupid plays just because you're having fun. You know, there's still every chance that Witness Gaming comes back into this one.
19 minutes left, and you know, we have literally seen on Gully Wash they can bring 3 rounds back just like that, but they're gonna have to play some perfect TF2 from henceforth. And well, does perfect TF2 start off with a grass push here, Bum?
Probably not when they have disadvantage. I don't know if either of the teams know that Auto gets this one first. Auto's just been generally building better throughout the entire night, but Toe has actually got in so deep, and that lets Demo come in with a sack, but Auto's positioning is really nice.
Lucas was hanging out at, I think it was grass as well, and he just gets plinked off. I guess maybe it's the whole 3-round
Pappy's
factor.
getting caught too.
And Salentes wants to think about moving in. There's no stickies to worry about. Lucas did go down, and they should know this over on TF2Easy. They're going to claim their midpoint. They're not overextending here like we saw from Witness Gaming in that one mid.
Man, Witness, they're still just ending up on the back foot in so many of these situations. They've got Sil down now. They want to get into mid here. They've got... Oh, no! Oh, no!
No!
It doesn't matter what you want.
The worst timing of things I've ever... That was just so unfortunate, and so fortunate for Nasboy. He's in on top of Domo. Will get punished, though, overextending. Classy is trying to pressure them down. The Uber does come and pop out, but with 3 players down, you could just call that a good Uber over on Witness Gaming. Pappy's going to be a little bit lagging behind, but it's fine. They're going to keep pushing in, try and get their 3 mid off of TF2Easy. They have got the Uber charge, however, Bum.
Yeah, and unfortunately they're not even going to block these forward spawns, which makes it so much easier and so much faster for this repush to come in. They might have wanted to stack that a little bit more than they did. Now, there's a big advantage coming their way as Morale just tries to dodge all that spam, but eventually gets chipped off. Sil does take a frag onto Demo on the flank as well, and Classy is just taking some weird damage there. Everyone's on this low ground right now. It's a really horrible position for TF2Easy. Like, that's not how you push into mid with 5 people through that door. Just hanging around in kind of the house area. So instead they have to call it off, but they're still 3 rounds up. They are more than comfortable here.
I'm gonna just try and play greedy here. When when you get that one first pick, and you're like, wait a minute, guys, we could maybe push this slow, hold on to this Uber here, but just so awkward. And you know, a choke is a choke after all. It's gonna get spammed. It's gonna be hard to get through the initial doorway, especially if you want to be greedy with that Uber, and the greed has cost them. They have lost their advantage, but they've still got the advantage on that scoreboard. Pappy, though, he's trying to change that, as he will get a starting kill, and the soldiers bear more room for Witness Gaming to left in. They've left a scout on point this time. They're going to last. They've got a numbers advantage going in, 5 versus 4, as there's no stickies on point. Tomas has got point pressure, will go down to the pipe, however, and they force off their Uber. They haven't spent their Uber over on Witness Gaming EU, but it's cost them a lot of players, and we've got a pause.
Yeah, that's like... I was... At the start of that fight, I was going to say this is the exact sort of thing we like to see out of Witness. They are going to push this 6v4. They're going to make it work. They're either going to get the round or get the force and get out. You can pretty much change your mind on which one of those you're going to do based on how it's going, but they just seem a little bit slower than usual. Like, they get in, they do get the force, and then still they're losing 3 players to it. Any other day, I think they managed to get out of there alive and repush with the full advantage, but instead, like, Pappy and Lucas are just hanging in there a little bit too long, making that mistake of basically giving a good Uber to TF2Easy.
Is it the best of 5 format here, Bum? Some players just not designed to play a third map. They just want to close out 2-0 and just start getting, getting some food in them.
I don't know, man. I think Witness are just a bit off kilter after what's happened. They weren't expecting it. Nubby does trade out a kill, but Nasboy finds a frag with a trap onto Classy as well. The Uber charge is still in Dom's favor, but he's lost 2 of his players, both scouts in fact, which means that he is definitely going to just let this one be even.
Alright, so with Ubers back to exchanged, 15 minutes left. Again, still more than possible for those 3 rounds to get back, but I can see that they have to be just proactive here on Witness Gaming. I can see they are being proactive, but it's just decisions obviously I don't like, because you have to just compromise somewhere.
Yeah, as they do drop out onto grass here. Dom's taken a lot of damage so far. Demel in with a sack onto Auto, does get a very decent rocket into him, but he does not pop for that much damage. He's going to keep his Uber in his pocket, get that pack, and he's healthy once again. Time is ticking here for Witness. They need 1 round per 5 minutes at this point if they want to get back into it.
I had a little shout out to Auto just because he did end up dropping like in the first sort of instance of the entire match, but he's held true. Usually a lot of players might feel a bit of the shivers in these sort of grand final, dropping situations. Think, right, I'm just going to pop early all the time now.
The only player on the server to have not won Prem, or even to have been in a grand final before. He's playing well though for it. You wouldn't know it from watching. Gaz has just run in to take this fight against Classy, does get the pick as well, and Demo's gone down in the meantime. There's a Demoman 1v1 happening in lower right now, and that will be won out by Lucas, and now that gives an opportunity to bust in through grass.
Tomas just walks in, 2 shots, Auto forces the Uber out, and they're doing that play again. They're trying to just bounce him up and keep him in, and maybe they can get that medic pick. I don't really see it quite yet though, but they've got too much on their plate to deal with as they just take up their other offerings instead. That was a hefty cost to keep that medic alive, and they could snowball this to last, and they will just leave 1 player behind on that second point to attempt that last.
Just as we were singing Auto's praises, he just did the most beautiful, graceful surf to keep himself alive there. The dry push is coming in from Witness. They've taken down the heavy. That's the one thing they really needed. Auto is getting chased down as well. There's half the time on point already. Just Silentes left to try and keep this one alive. He has the high ground, but he doesn't have the time. 3-1, Witness Gaming back into the game. We need to see what we saw last map, and we need to see one better.
This has to be a little bit of wind in the sails. That's all you need, just something to just get the ball rolling here and just get your team back into it. Untilt them. And how much, though, will it take to untilt this team after the Goliath matches they've had so far? We're going in to another mid, and so far it's just been Silentes and Nubby dictating the entire mid. Can they keep them controlled, or can they just ignore them? That's what they're opting to do. Ignore them, pretend they're not there, but Silentes is there. He takes out Domo, and it allows the rest of the team to kind of deal with the leftovers of that bomb, and they've all been brought down low by that big boy bomb of Silentes.
Yeah, and Witness called that pause at the end of that round, I believe. I think they won the round, called a pause. They wanted to reevaluate their mids. And if this is what's happened after the reevaluation, it's not great for you. TF2Easy, that might go to their head. They've really just won another mid after Witness Gaming took that time out specifically to talk about their game plan after that round they finally won. And TF2Easy once again in the driving seat.
Alright, well, 11 minutes left. It's still mathematically possible. I'm using that word, mathematically possible. And it's just scary because you know that they can play the time here, and it's grand final. Why would you not play this sort of defender's advantage if you're over on TF2Easy?
Yeah, Witness have to find a way to get into this game, and losing every mid is not going to be the way to do it, even if they manage to battle back from their half of the map. If they're losing every mid, they're going to have to do it next round again. They're going to have to do it the round after that. They might have to do it in the golden cap if it goes to that. It's going to be really, really difficult. because these bombs from Solentes, as you've been saying, have just been decimating. Whether or not he gets the kills himself, it's opening up so much space for the rest of his team to run this forwards over the point. And both teams are just chatting right now. They're like both completely willing to not even look at each other. No one has seen an enemy player for the last like 30 seconds talking over what they're going to do.
Classy. He looks like he's going to rock the spy, and legitimately. I don't think he's actually going for any sort of things, but it's a long walk, a long walk from the last point to make this play happen. So I don't think he's only got it in the tank once. A lot of pressure, and it's pretty difficult to get to that medic, and especially because they're going to get a bit paranoid here over on Witness Gaming. Witness Gaming? TF2Easy.
Yeah, Auto is in the anti-spy spot. There's no chance Classy's getting up there undetected while Auto's on the roof. So
they're starting to spam him instead.
Yeah.
Oh, get down from there, Auto. Get down so our spy can stab you.
And in fact, they just take an Uber for it. They're trying to go in aggressive here. The Uber charge is out.
He almost stabbed him. He almost came and shanked him from the showers in the kitchen. Oh, that was so fortunate they popped the Uber there. I'm pretty sure if we were on his POV, he would have stabbed him in the animation if that Uber wasn't clicked at that very moment.
That is tragic. Maybe that Uber was just designed to scare Auto into walking backwards so that would happen, but maybe the Uber was too successful, made Auto think he needed to use his own.
Did anybody get the license plate on that Roma? He just came through, killed the medic, and now he's left dazed. Poor TF2Easy. Will they play off this though? It's a scary time to go and push out, as we've got so many free agents running around. Nubby, speaking of agents, goes down as the spy to it. Was that a blind death as well? Because I think he was invisible.
Well, either way, they are able to get all the way out of last from this and have an overcharge advantage. Witness have the potential to coast this. No soldiers to worry about on mid. There is a sniper in the second forward spawn. They just need to worry about traps, but they go through an empty doorway. They get mid for free. They need to watch out for Nubby now. He's very good at sniper!
Oh, no! He gets the snipe. He actually finds the snipe onto Domo. I saw it. I saw the darts and I couldn't warn him. It's my fault.
That is tragic. Nubby was hiding until the very second he peeks out and sees just a glimpse of Domo's cape and just takes down that full Uber drop. And now it's all back in TF2Easy's hands once again. They use this Uber to get in. They find Demel, they find Lucas. They're going to find Classy with the Uber as well. Very nicely done. And now they are definitely getting mid here. 8 minutes left, and Witness Gaming's fate could be sealed in this map unless a miracle happens very soon.
Absolute panic stations were hit for Witness Gaming there, as they desperately just claw to try and get that Uber out of orbit Auto, and he did pop it, but I think he was just popping it just to make sure things are safe here. No more disaster after disaster. Happy gets the kill onto Gazi. That's a good start when it comes to the defending second. Demo gets the pick onto Dash Boy, and he's still living. He gets the health back. He rejoins his team. Pappy and Demo are pulling the rest of their team to victory. They're just trying to pull them back from this deficit.
What an excellent shot from Demel onto the demo, no less. Really opens up the map for a huge advantage push here.
Pappy's he forces Auto. Is he gonna get out?
No.
Oh, no.
But Auto wouldn't usually use that. He's been playing so well this map and he didn't really need to use it. But I think the nerves are starting to get to him now. He has forced that one off after the chaos that so previously forced them back. And now 100% advantage in the hands of Witness Gaming. We could see them start to get back into this one. They haven't used it yet. Now it comes in straight onto the heavy. No stickies on point.
Gazi will take the majority of that Uber to deal with. Solentes is brought low, manages to get out though. Demel will go down to Nasboy, holding so close you think he'd be a member of the red team. He does go down though, but there's just not enough souls on this last. They go for the Hail Mary cap with two, a Demoran and a soldier. Will not get it, however. 6 minutes left on the clock, and the rest of TF2Easy can claw back this round.
Oh, it's such a mistake. They have to focus that heavy for so long. They ignore the point entirely, and all that time that they're not just winning the round by capping the point, it's giving TF2easy the opportunity to come out of that left spawn, get back into the fight from somewhere else instead, and TF2easy gain control of their own last back from the clutches of Witness. Now they're bombing in, Sil and Nubby both going down.
They've actually controlled them for this mid. They've actually got them. Wait, we're not on a new mid. This is just a regular push. I'm getting confused here. I thought they even won that round. All right, we're going back into it. They have got an uber charge here for TF2easy, but just not enough souls to deal with this second point. They've even got Tomas and Sniper to just add some chaos in this last moment of the game.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Last boy, he's going to get shot. He doesn't know. Oh, he misses.
Oh well. There's 5 minutes though. As I said, Tomas has to get a shot sooner rather than later. The problem with running Sniper on offense is that for every moment you don't get a shot, you are just ticking down that time for the other team. Like, when they're 3-1 up, the Sniper is not the fastest class you can be playing to get the advantage back in your hands. You really need to be patient with it to find something. And now he's going to peek from this shutter, but he's onto the angle where the medic isn't even stood.
Alexi! He was hiding. He was hiding behind the box near the point and gets the kill onto Lucas. So now a push, even if he manages to headshot a lot of people, they can't really push without the demo, man.
Yeah, and every pick, it's really all about the time now. Everything is in terms of this time being ticked down for Witness Gaming. Every respawn timer they have to wait for, every sniper shot they have to wait for. Tomas going down to the demo sniper combination here from TF2easy. They have 4 minutes 30 to find 2 rounds. They have to convert this one very soon and then roll the next one off the back of a mid-fight, which so far they've been losing time after time. It's gonna be the 3-0 in maps here for TF2easy, which not even the wildest player could have predicted being the outcome for this grand final. It's going to be an insane one unless Witness Gaming can get back into it.
We're going to need some incredible anime moments here. If there's any sort of kind of plot barrier for Pappy's teams, it's got to be invoked now. This has to work. At this point, Tomas is going to go for the sap onto the sentry, and they throw somebody in to jump instead. And oh, he actually gets the stab onto Salentes. He kind of gets like the face stabby bullshit going on, and they will not make it converted to anything because Mo Alexi was popping off during all that. He switches back to Scout. They're pushing out of second. They kind of wonder, do we even need to push out back to last we go?
Well, they can't push out. These spawns are too fast, but that was... It works for Witness, but it was so sloppy. They were expecting kind of more value from sapping that sentry and sending 2 soldiers. They basically only get the force and lose 3 people for it. It's not bad. It does give them this opportunity of a last push, but they need it to work out better than last time. Here it comes, onto Toe, onto Pappy. They've not seen anything as of yet. Toe already
so much time on
half
point.
capped.
And they've killed the soldier as well with the capping scout. The scout will go down eventually, but they've farmed so many players that have jumped onto the point to deal with that initial thing. It's the second round. We're entering anime mode, boom.
We're really into it now. This is it, all down to the final 3 minutes of this map, and that's been the case for every map so far. This is a real endurance test for both of these teams, but we need to see Witness Gaming turn this mid around. All eyes on Salentes, I think, for this mid, as he's had so much impact so far. We need to see what happens this time for Witness.
It's a repeat of the official again. They can't complete their arc here over on TF2easy unless they defeat their Snakewater Demons. They're playing so defensive here over on Witness Gaming. They want to deal with this thing. Nubby gets in though. And they've already started off this mid with a couple of kills. They're bailing here, Bum. Mission accomplished for TF2easy. They get the med pick. Sure, they won't win the mid, but they'll win the time.
But look how defensive they're going to play this. Are they even going to play on second? They're waiting for all of these players to spawn. It looks like they will start to retake second now. I thought there was a world there where they just play on last for that last 2 minutes. And look at what Domo is running. The Kritzkrieg is out. They need this Kritzkrieg to pay off. They need a huge Lucas sticky to drop auto here, and they're putting all their eggs in one basket. They are really riding on that play happening as the Ubercharge advantage is still in Auto's hands. They get a free pick onto Pappy. They're running this one forwards. Nubby's going to find a kill onto Classy here on the flank as well. This could be devastating. There's 1 minute left.
They haven't got it yet, though. They still need more time, and D-Maul is getting peppered on the grass as well. They're going to chase from grass as well. And they got the second point being capped by a scout. Not everybody's bunched up. He gets Auto! He actually gets Auto! Lucas has so much to deal with, though. There's so many players coming in. They kill Solentes, but the rest of them on the blue squad have just hightailed it out of there. They have the crits, but they know they've got the crits this time. They have to ride so much momentum at this point. 52 seconds left. They have to start getting to mid right now. They're all bunching up. Power of friendship as much as possible on this mid cap. 41 seconds left. Mid captured. I'm not sure if there's enough time, but they have to just keep going with it. They're playing very safe on TF2Easy. They've given up second point. 30 seconds left. As they all got some cap time already pressed out. The Ubercharge is not ready. The crits is ready now. The drop coming out from Nesboy onto Domo. They've got no crits to bail out. They just have to white knuckle it into this last point. There's a sentry gun on last. They've got a scout on it. However, Thomas digs deep. He takes out one kill. They're pushing for last. There's just not enough bodies. And there's 6 seconds left.
There we go. The end of a season. The end of an era. 3-0 in maps for TF2Easy. They did the impossible. No one thought that Witness was going to lose this in such a fashion. Maybe Witness were going to lose it, but there's no chance they get 3-0'd by the second seed. That is such a beautiful way to end the season. TF2Easy must be pleased with that. And that last drop from Nasboy, I was just waiting to see it happen. They were stood underneath that trap for so long, no one clearing it. The high tensions of the situation just leads to mistakes like that where you don't check default traps above default doors. And that one mistake puts the pin in the balloon and they are done. Witness Gaming unable to get a foot in the door in this grand final. TF2Easy, what a way to end the season.
Whew, boy. All right. I need to settle down. I need to settle down for everybody. Oh, gosh. Eemes, talk some sense into me. Calm me down.
Well, that was, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty high myself from just watching that last minute and a half. I thought they definitely had a chance. You know, Lucas had to get that crazy drop onto auto. You know, they were coming back into it, but at the end of the day, it was just too much, too little, too late for them, really. Again, they were, you know, started off very, very far behind the map, not doing super well on the mids. They were clawing their way back into it slowly but surely, but they, you know, in so many of these situations, Domo dropping on mid that one time, they failed a full ad last push. You know, they were getting pushed back repeatedly, even though they did seem to be getting the momentum back into their, you know, into their court, the ball back into their court rather. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I think Witness were just so on the back foot from these mids and just really overall losing a lot of DM fights, kind of all over the map. In fact, we saw TF2Easy were very, very effective at just busting choke time after time. Really, Lucas dying early one time, or the Solis getting in, they're getting forced, all of these kind of things. But TF2Easy just really, you know, had the bit between their teeth and weren't giving it up at all, and were just putting so much pressure onto Witness Gaming that they couldn't really, they weren't holding the stalemates well at all, and it's kind of surprising really because they're usually pretty practiced at this kind of thing, but TF2Easy just had too much energy, too much playmaking potential.
Boom. There was hero play after hero play after hero play. Did you keep count? Like, how many big moments were in that, like, final minutes of the game?
I can only count on my fingers, and I ran out in the end, so wow, just what an ending. The back and forth at the end, the huge single sticky drop from across the map from Nas onto auto, only for the, sorry, not from Nas, from Lucas onto auto, only for the stickies to pay off in the other direction straight afterwards with that drop onto Domo in lobby. Such a shame. There's so many, like, if this goes another way, we see a completely different final. So many situations like that across all three maps. And we do have the victors here to talk about how they are feeling. We have Gaz, Morale, Nubby, and Thomas from the losing team to talk us through this one. If we can get somebody to move in the gamers.
I think I have the power. Give me but a moment. I don't have the power. Duntum has the power. There we go. All right. Boys, welcome as we just slowly take the muzzles off you one by one. I am a bucket of emotions. I can't imagine how everyone is feeling right now. So I'm just going to give each of you the open mic one at a time and just tell me, walk me through how you're feeling. Relief, happiness, sadness, whatever. Kunu, how are you feeling, my man?
Pretty happy. Fairly overjoyed. But also full of appreciation.
Whew. Gaz, how are you, man?
All right.
Playing it cool.
No, I'm not playing it cool. Like,
cool guy. Just another Tuesday.
The only thing I came for the interviews for is just, like, people never mention Navi, but he's kind of the goat. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, before I get to the go, we go in alphabetical. I'm going to go with the first N on the list. Nasboy, how are we doing, man? Nasboy, hello? Oh, wait, he's muted, that's why. Okay, well, I wonder if I can do it. I cannot. Well, now. All right, well, I guess we're skipping Nasboy for a second.
What does Nasboy being the first N mean?
Nubby, how are we doing? How are we feeling, man?
I'm doing alright.
Oh my god. Thomas, you might have to speak for your teammate for you whilst we try and take the muzzle off him. I think he's doing now. But how are you feeling, Thomas?
I mean, obviously I'm a little disappointed, but it is what it is.
And Nasboy, we saved the best to last. How are we doing, Nas?
Yep, still Nubby goats. Still came in. We had Auto came in. We had like 2 late signings, and then obviously Auto and Sil just beasting for us, man. Yes. We always knew, honestly, from the start of the season, we always knew we were gonna win. So it was just fun. Speaking of Auto, he comes in at the last moment. Auto, how are we feeling?
Really happy. First time at the top.
First time, and he plays like that, man. He's first time, and he's already the best medic playing Prem.
All right, boys. Now that we've all feel included in the interview and we've all gone one by one, I'm just going to keep it an open forum. Let's start off with, the victors, TF2Easy. Obviously, a lot of emotions being thrown in to all of those games, and it does end in a 3-0. Is this the scoreline that you guys were aiming for at the start, or did you think it was going to go for like 5 maps and just turn into a 5-hour sesh?
We never knew. We from the start we were saying it's gonna go 3 maps. You can even ask the team. Like, we're not saying it because we just won.
Yeah, this isn't actually BM. Like, we actually aim to close it in 3 maps.
Yeah. You have to play with that kind of confidence. Otherwise, then what the fuck are you doing?
That's true.
I assume Thomas would have the same confidence, and his team would have the same confidence because there's no way you shouldn't. You have to be prepared for the. You have to be prepared for 5.
I expected it to go in 3. I didn't know which way it would go, but 3 was awesome, I guess.
Now, guys, I know that sometimes those casters were critical. I know that we got Mr. Kato on his little stream. He's going to be very critical. But is there any sort of things or mistakes you guys want to have the first say? Does anyone want to confess their sins they've done?
I fucked up Gully Wash, man. I nearly almost threw my team Gully Wash.
You almost threw Snake as well.
Yeah, true.
What do you want, Snake? What are you talking about, bro?
But Gully Wash, it was, they obviously picked me up. I almost I threw the ball,
I respected that. I respect being the first one out there to admit your sins. Surely
I stuck up on Snake Water. I did my thing on Snake Water, but Gully Wash was just bad. My team definitely carried me.
What about the rest of you? Come on, somebody must have feel like they've dropped the ball at some point. No?
Crickets.
You guys always play perfect TF2, huh?
I dropped a bit of a ball on Gully as well. With some of the last plays we tried to do. Fed to Pappy a few times.
Thomas, so you're very much a champion of your entire team here, so maybe you can just they not name names, but just say things like, "Oh, we collectively could have done this better." What do you reckon?
I mean, take 3 maps of TF2. There's probably going to be hundreds of mistakes in all of them. It's hard to narrow it down. But of course, we made mistakes. They made mistakes, but we also did good plays, and so did them. I like to focus on the positives.
You know what? I like that positivity. Let's go with that then. What would you say was like a really highlight moment for you? It's got to be that time you just pulled out a rampage over on that Granary, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
What about the rest of TF2Easy? Was there a highlight for anybody out there? Maybe their own personal highlight?
I really liked the really smooth TF2 we played to win the Golden Cap. It was a very, very nice call from Sil. He said he was going to trade, he was going to give his life to trade with Demul because Demul had a banner. Got the trade, then we did the usual Granary into second trade, and then we had our own banner for afterwards, and it was very fluid and it was very, very nice.
Excellent. Now, Bum, I know you're itching to get one of those smart questions out there, so lay it on me.
Oh, I've just forgotten my question.
Good.
All right, yes, never mind. So, TF2Easy, you guys were confident about taking this one in 3. Do you think Witness messed up the veto, or why were you so confident about that?
Yes, we knew exactly what they were gonna pick when we did the veto, and this is not BM as well. Like, we predicted every map, I think.
Yeah. We're having little games here. What do you think? But yeah, we all got it right. It's just we knew what maps. We kind of knew their best map was Process as well. Just had to get rid of that, even though that's kind of been like a kind of nerd rage staple. But this season, I don't know, it didn't really click. But every other map, it was pretty like it was fun for us as easy.
Thomas, was the rest of Witness Gaming like shocked when they came out with that process ban?
Yeah, somewhat.
Do you remember? You were drunk.
I mean, yeah, I was, but I still remember. I was somewhat surprised. I kind of figured that they didn't really like it, but we also don't like it. You know, it's probably our second worst map, so you know, it was a slight curveball, but it wasn't something that like we were negatively affected by.
Now, was there a particular map this evening that people were, kind of worried about playing? Like, do you think that, I don't know, like if it went to Gully Wash, if it went to Metalworks, or if it went to Viaduct, were those maps just really, really troublesome for any of these players tonight? Or did you think like, oh no, it would have been fine no matter what the map?
I think it would have been fine no matter the map. I think our map pools have aligned fairly well this season. Like, I know that we were confident in all these 5 maps. We didn't have we had issues with Sunshine. That was kind of the only issue map that we had, like strictly the map. Because this season it didn't seem to click for us. But I think everyone on our team were like happy with the maps that were selected. But
what about you, Kunu?
We really enjoyed Metalworks. We played it a lot obviously because it was the last 2 weeks of the season, so it was kind of fresh in our minds, and we had a fair few amount of ideas for the map, and we were quite confident on it. Product is product. It's a synergy-based map, and it can be a coin flip a lot of the time. So if it got there, it would have been maybe a very interesting watch, but nonetheless, it didn't.
Let's let Eemes get a word in. There's no Josh to stamp him down this time.
Yes, true. So first question is for TF2Easy. You were 3-0 up on 2 maps, the final 2 maps, and Nasboy, as you mentioned, you had a bit of a tough time at 3-0. You know, you let them kind of walk in through a choke, and then you had quite a few deaths again. In later stalemates. So, firstly, what was going through your mind there? Was it nerves, or was it sort of just losing concentration? And then on the next map where you're 3-0 up, what was the pause about? Firstly, and were you in the same sort of? Were you wondering that you might choke it away, or were you still pretty confident?
Well, the pause was because Sil had 500 ping, so just had to get rid of that quickly. The 3-0 that went to 3-3 on Gully, I think Nas is taking ownership for it. It wasn't all him, but
that's Gully, bro. That's Gully, man. This guy trying to throw all over.
No, that's not throwing on you at all.
I'm joking.
We'd lose. We'd be 3-0 up, and then we'd lose the next mid fight on both of these maps. And from that, we were kind of working against ourselves. I think we got a bit in our own heads with certain situations about what to do if they did this, if they did that. And we had a lot of, especially on Gully, like we had so many like ammo issues. Like it felt like Granary with the amount of ammo issues we had.
Yeah, it was comfortable for 2 of the maps, but Gully was a bit I don't know, a bit shaky. Well, for me, I don't know my team, but other than that, other 2 maps were calm. They're cool.
Bit nervy, but you clutched it out. Fair enough. And so for Thomas, obviously crucial moments, which I definitely called attention to after the game on Gully, was Nubby's 2 back caps, which really, put you on the back foot. Was there, was that miscommunication? What was going on there? What was the problem?
I mean, yeah, like there was some miscommunication for the first one, and then I think the second one, there was just kind of a general confusion of what happened. I don't really know what happened. I can't speak for Demul. He'd probably know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
The pain train meet, it happened very quickly. It was quite hard to react to.
Yeah, and was that, I was speculating that you might have been even talking about that on the way to the mid fight, which is why you lost it so badly at 2-0 down. Were you sort of tilted after those, do you think?
No.
No? All right, fair enough. Very strong momentum from both teams then. Turbo, back to you.
All right, okay, boys. Because I like hearing you talk just at least once, I'm going to do one last little, question for everybody, and then we'll start going to our soapboxes and saying all our little shout-outs. And I'm going to go alphabetically as per usual, but I just want you all to kind of just pick out an MVP, and I'm going to throw a spin on it, though. You're going to have to pick somebody from the opposing team, only. Who gave you the most trouble, you could probably say, is a better question to ask. All right, Otto, who was a nightmare from that Witness Gaming lineup?
Lucas. He's tagging me. He's crit sticking me. He's got some very creative traps too.
True.
Doesn't know any that I don't.
Oh shit.
Kuno, there must have been somebody that was giving you nightmares on that Witness Gaming.
Usually I'd say the opposition roamer, and in this case, absolutely, the Maul had some very epic moments. Like his drop on auto right at the start of the game on Granary was but other than that, Thomas as well. My opposite number is always a strong fight.
Gaz, how about you?
If I have to pick one, probably Classy, because I'm usually quite confident in Scout 1v1s, but against him tonight, I felt like if I missed 1 or 2 shots, it's just over. Like, I don't feel like that very often. And yeah, I think even if the lock's not reflected, he actually played well. It's just the flow of the game, and he's playing flank Scout, and yeah, I think his hands were pretty bound.
Nice, boys. Anybody you want to pick up?
Definitely Classy. If I ever try to peak aggressive or commit off my soldier bombs, he'd just be on me, man. So it was definitely Classy for me.
Nubby?
I don't know. I didn't feel anyone giving me trouble. I think when I did something wrong, it was completely my fault. But if I really have to pick someone, it's maybe Classy. Sometimes he was keeping me on lock on the flank.
All right,
That's it, man. Classy's the goat.
All right, well, Tomas, you get the nice situation where you get to pick one out of all these lot and see in real time their disappointment or their happiness.
I mean, Sil is obviously the obvious choice, I would have thought. I think he fit the team very well, and I think on the first 2 maps he was very hard to deal with. But then I think Snakewater was definitely on Naz. There was some funky traps that got a couple kills. What can you do? So I say Sil until Snake, and then it was Naz.
Love it. All right, okay. Before we head on over to shoutouts, I'm just going to double check with my analysis, boys. We don't have any smart questions back there that we want to say, no? Bum?
No, sorry.
Now we're good.
Very good. All right, okay. Now we will go to the shoutouts. Obviously, please keep it Christian. My mother watches these. Okay, again, we're going to go in alphabetical orders, per usual, yada, yada, yada. Also, is there anything you want to shout out to?
Shout out to my team, picking me up out of nowhere, so it's very nice to play. And shout out to Mandem.
Excellent. Kunu?
Yeah, shout out to Sil and Otto for coming into this team and being incredible players, and also especially for this being his first time on a top team and being so good. And shout out to Spaceman.
Nice. Gazzy?
Shout out to all the people that played mixes against us this season. Like, they really helped us. Shout out to Josh, and even though he isn't here, I want to shout out Cyril, because I think people probably expected our gameplay to be worse without Josh, but I think still stepped up to the role quite well.
Nice boy.
Yeah, shout out team, shout out the enemies. Winners, they didn't even play bad. I think we just played better on the day, but they played fine. Shout out Sil. He did it, he helped us, like, behind the scenes, he helped us a lot, Like, most of these plays are from him and stuff, so definitely shout out Sil. Nobby had a sick finals. Shout out the players that mixed us, like Lardox, Flick, Fancy. Who else mixed against us? I think them core, they were always like, anytime we needed like a mix, they'd be down to play, like Flick and them guys. Yeah, and just shout out Josh and
Nice. Nubby?
Shouts to Daga, Eemes, Barney, Tram, Copper, Seeds, and Netty Asian.
And finally,
and my team, of course.
Yeah, very good. All right, and finally from our players will be Thomas.
No, got none.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, okay. I haven't forgot about you, Bum. If you want to say hi to your mum, you can say hi to her now.
Yeah, I'll say hi to my mum. Hi, mum.
All right, Eames, have you got anything?
No, just shout out to the teams for a great game. Shout out to Nubby in particular, who I'm going to give my MVP to for the back caps and for the nice plays on Snake as well, and for being a solid roamer.
Facts.
Excellente. All right, and I'm going to give a big shout out to Dr. Underscore for doing all the production tonight. I'm going to do a big shout out to all our players that joined us in the interview. Thanks, guys. This is a nice little bonus for all the Twitch chats to kind of mull over. Otherwise, a big shout out to my co-casters. Bum, Eames, have been an absolute pleasure to join me on the cast, and obviously a shout out to me. I'm so great casting the final, woohoo! But yeah, I have been TurboTabs joining and covering your ETF2L Grand Final, and that's it. That is our coverage of ETF2L Season 41. I think we might have some of the odd finals here and there dotted about, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But if you want to find that information, you can always find that out over on teamfortress.tv, as we'll tell you more about future coverage from there. But otherwise, a big congratulations to TF2Easy for capping it out. A well played, and commiserations to witnessgaming.eu. And this will be everybody here signing out. And thank you very much for watching. See you next time.